Zach Flores is the quarterback, number 10. He's going to send a man in motion. He's going to roll it. Oh! Oh, hello!
We are not from the north side.
We are not from the south side.
And we're not from the east side.
Inside handoff, 30-yard line, 35 to the corner of the 40. He might go, 45-yard line to the end zone, touchdown.
We are Weslaco.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Bogus Stadium in Harlingen, Texas. Terry Beitler along with Carlos Robledo, and we're here for the season opener for the Weslaco Panthers as they entertain, or they're being entertained by the Harlingen South Hawks. And tonight, Carlos, this is totally new. We got almost brand new teams coming in here tonight.
Yeah, new look for the Weslaco Panthers as well, as they bring out the white uniforms, a nice sports stripe right in the middle of the helmet too. They look sharp here tonight. It's going to be a new look team, as you know, gone are the high-powered running backs that we've had the past couple of years. New quarterback this year. Pretty much a new team for the Weslaco Panthers. We'll see what they got. The one thing you can depend on is Coach Tony Villarreal, as he comes here for the Weslaco Panthers, hoping to lead them back into the playoffs and running that high-powered offense. It's been one of the leading offenses in the state the past 3 years. So we'll see how they do here tonight against the Harlingen South Hawks, who lost last week to Mission Veterans 27-2.
Well, it should be, like I said, we're going to be learning a lot of the new names tonight, not just Harlingen South. We're going to be learning some of the new names for the Panthers. I do know that number 2, Boca Negra, was a kicker last year for them, and they're going to kick off. They won the toss but deferred to the second half, so we'll try to get that all for you here as we get underway. Weslaco in those visiting white uniforms, Harlingen South wearing their home orange, the green and orange of the Harlingen South Hawks. And we'll try to pick up on this as the game goes on, and we're just as curious as anybody else. We always get this question, both of us, well, how are they going to do this year? Well, we don't have Meshach Rivas, we don't have Michael Blackman, we don't have Dylan DeLeon. We got a whole new bunch of Panthers to talk about. We do know that R.C. Cervantes will be back this year, John Rojas, and some of the others. So they do have some skill players coming back. Boca Negra will kick off as we're up on the visitors' side tonight. And the 2009 football season for the Panthers is about ready to get underway. I do not know. Well, we got a penalty before this season starts. The guy in the end zone calling a penalty. Whoa, I don't know about that. The play clock ran out on that. We have some numbers down there, Carlos, on those running backs here. I don't have my glasses.
We've got a 7 and a 32 in the backfield over there. And
that'll be Samuel Perez and, well, 32 or 33. You don't have a 32 listed, but these rosters may be a little bit incomplete. I'm not sure. We'll find out here in a moment.
We do also have a new coach for Harlingen South. That's Gilbert Leal, coming over from Mercedes, his first year over at Harlingen South. He was in the 4As there for a while. Longtime assistant over at Harlingen. Went to Mercedes for a few years, took them, had a lot of success there, and now he's at South.
Here we go, Boca Negra, kind of a short kick, all the way up to about the 24-yard line, picked up there. Coming wide, the Harlingen South runner still on his feet, trying to get to the outside. And he's going to be stacked up over there. At first, I thought it was number 10, which is the quarterback, but I don't think that was him. Might have been, looked like number 10, but I don't think it was. I believe Weslaco's got a few guys coming back on that defense of theirs. And we'll see what happens here. Weslaco's got some size this year a little bit.
Well, the kids just keep growing and getting bigger and bigger, and I think it's just genetics. I mean, these kids you see nowadays in the junior high are 6 foot tall, so yeah, they're going to get bigger, most definitely. 1st
and 10 on the 35-yard line for Harlingen South. Hand off to the big boy coming through. It breaks loose, and he's going to make a first down up to about the 48-yard line. Number 16, Omar Pena, we remember him from last year, one of the secondary people, had to make the tackle. And that's a big gain on the first play, about 13 yards for Harlingen South.
It's a very popular offense. A lot of high school football teams and college teams run this offense. It's a spread offense. Weslaco, we saw it last week against Hidalgo, where the quarterback lines up in a shotgun position, and he can do several things out of that. He can run, pass, or throw. So it's an option type of offense, and you'll be seeing a lot of that. High-powered offense. They use it a lot in Mercedes. I'm talking about the Coach Leal did, and so you'll be seeing a lot of that not only here but throughout the Rio Grande Valley, where they can pass the ball, run, or give it to the running back.
Oh, we got a timeout on the first play, or some kind of an official's timeout. Zach Flores, I believe, number 10 is their quarterback. I read about him in the newspaper, but I believe this team has 2 quarterbacks that they play. So we'll see how that works out.
Harlingen South is, as far as the linemen are concerned, have always been known for their size. They always find the big boys that they can have out there. And going back to the days of the 90s, they've always had a big offensive line. So I'm not surprised to see some size on that line. When it comes to Harlingen or Harlingen South, most of these 5A schools can usually find some beef and put them up front. But Harlingen definitely, since day one, when they became a high school back in the 90s, they've always had a lot of size.
All right, the quarterback is number 10. Zach Flores. One of the running backs is number 21, John Drewley. And
could be an official that was a little shaken up there, Terry, because
so.
The trainer was taking a look at him and now is taking him off the field. So we'll have to check his condition or see how he's doing here tonight, because they're now taking him off the sideline. They're going to take a look at him. Hopefully he's okay, but they'll continue with just the officials, I guess 3 officials here in the game instead of 4.
I guess a dangerous business, huh?
Or 4 instead of 5 officials, I should say. Sorry about that.
All right, Flores in the shotgun. Got one man beside him and receivers to both sides of the field. He rolls to his left, still looking. Got a man out here, and incomplete pass intended for number 15, Dylan. I don't know if that's Dylan Dahl or Dylan Dowie.
Your guess is as good as mine.
Like I said, opening roster, sometimes we have fun with those. But an incomplete pass that brings up 2nd down and 10. Quarterback rolling out that time, and just a little bit low on the pass.
Yeah, just a little underthrown there for Zach Flores. He rolls out to the left-hand side and looking for his receiver, gets it up just a few more inches. It could be a reception. Instead, he throws it in the dirt. It's incomplete.
All right, they run like I said, they're not running under center. They're running a shotgun offense. Hand off to the big boy again. This time he is stacked up big, and a great tackle, gang tackling by the Weslaco Panthers, led out there by number 29, Eric Hernandez. He was the first one there, and he had all kinds of help.
Yeah, Hernandez doing a good job right there, staying in his position, keen on his linemen up front, and then he sees that it's going to be a running play, just shoots the gap right there, meets the man right up the middle, and no gain on that play. Big play right there, because now it's 3rd and long. If they get just a few more yards, it opens up the option play for the Harlingen South Hawks. Now it's 3rd and long, almost a passing situation for sure.
Yeah, the same formation as they've had in the past here. Flores is rolling to his. Whoa! As he hit. Oh my goodness! Welcome to the season, number 45, and that is Michael Sines. Where did it? This is a youngster coming up. What a tackle!
Well, good defense stand so far for the Weslaco Panthers, as Michael Sines just rolling out to the right-hand side over there, playing linebacker, shoots the gap, gets into the backfield, and you got to get rid of that ball quickly. The Weslaco Panthers, you look at them defensively, not a lot of beef on that side, but they sure do show some quickness. Sines right there with a quick speed, gets into the backfield and makes the sack.
Well, that was a hard, sure tackle. Sometimes a quarterback will bounce off something like that, but not that time. Let's check the punt returner for Weslaco here. Another new face. High snap back. Here comes a rush.
That's RC Cervantes back there.
And there's going to be a penalty on the play. That's going to come back. That's going to be roughing the kicker, and Harlingen South is going to get a break. Tough break by the Panthers that time. Eric Hernandez is one of the rushers, along with number 13, Dominic Elmore. But once that ball got up in the air, the flag had to come out because the punter was just crushed.
Disappointing. Sometimes you gamble a little bit over there when you go after the block punt. Sometimes you're going to get into the face or a little collision there with the punter. That's what happened right there. And now Harlingen South with a big break right there. They're going to pick up 15 yards, and a 1st down, and this drive continues.
Yep, that was. We'll have to remember that play at 9:53 here in the 1st quarter. But this is a long ball game. I have no prediction of what the score was going to be. I know Weslaco struggled in a couple of scrimmages here, but you can really throw the scrimmages out the door because they really, well, they're like the NFL. They don't really mean a whole lot, I go back to my team last year. I'll tell you about that. Left, got a new quarterback, and wide open in the middle of the field, and completed down to the 20-yard line, fumbled, and I think Weslaco has come up with it. I'd have to check out, it was a left-handed quarterback that time, and Eric Hernandez is throwing his arms up in the air. I don't know if he's the one who recovered it. We don't have our monitor up here to see, but
Coach Leal was talking about Harlingen South, and that, one thing positive that came out of their game last week, of the 27-2 loss to Mission Veterans, was they didn't turn the ball over. And usually you see a lot of that during the non-district schedule because they're not used to the contact. Well, right here, the Weslaco Panthers get a break. That was certainly a fumble, and the Panthers are now in business.
First play of scrimmage for the Weslaco Panthers, new look offense. And I think that's Rojas running. He only got maybe back to the line of scrimmage, maybe got one.
20-yard line. They get all the way to the 20-yard line, Terry. So it looks like Harlingen South, after that reception, was going to be in business inside the red zone and possibly, try to get in for the score. Instead, they lose the ball, and the Weslaco Panthers, the defense hangs tough. They made a big play in the first series with that big sack, and now here the fumble recovery, and now the Panthers have the ball on offense. New
man on offense this year is Randy Garcia, number 10, the quarterback, taking over for 3-year starter Dylan De Leon. And he's passed. Oh, we got a penalty on the far side of the field, a little sweep, maybe a couple yards, but I see a penalty marker going up. We could have a holding penalty over on the far side, on the Harlingen South side of the field. Looked like good fake by the quarterback as they rolled to the left that time, but a couple of penalties early on for Weslaco here. Remember, this is their first game. This is Harlingen South's second game. You have to give advantage to South on that because they've had a chance to kind of get the game experience underway here. Yeah,
when you have a young team like that, and then it's your first game, your first varsity game, you could have plenty of penalties. And usually you see penalties in the early part of the season. When it comes to the postseason and it comes to these critical district games, you don't see a lot of penalties. But here we are, first game of the season already. The Panthers have 2 big penalties.
And they're second down and 20 on their own 10-yard line. Sabino Reyna came into the ball game. Also, Joe De Leon out there as wide receivers. This is a very spread offense as they send a man in motion to the near side. One man back, rolling to his right is Garcia, and he's got the reception. That's R.C. Cervantes, and we know this kid is a good one.
Nice pass by Randy Garcia also, because Cervantes did a good job. He put his hand up in the air saying, hey, throw it to me, I'm here. Went right to his little spot. Not good coverage there by Harlingen South. He throws it, nice little pass to him. Wide open, makes the catch. You get the first down. That's what you want to see.
Yeah, that's a hard pass to throw for a quarterback. The out pass, that's not the easiest one.
It's tough to get that one on a rope, especially when there's tight coverage. But not a lot of tight coverage right there, so Garcia can just kind of loop that one in there for the reception.
Rojas is back into the ballgame. Very tight formation here. Garcia, the quarterback. Inside handoff, 30-yard line, 35 to the corner to the 40. He might go, 45-yard line, 50 down the sideline. Rojas trying to take it in. He does. To the end zone, touchdown. Do you see any flags? I don't. So John Rojas from 74 yards. That was from the 26-yard line. That kind of little inside handoff, inside a tackle, and Rojas showed his speed. And down the sideline, 74 yards, and the Panthers are on the board. Was that quick or what?
What's so important for the Weslaco Panthers in this offense is to have some pulling guards who can block down the field, and that's what happened right there as Aaron Vega, number 53, the offensive lineman, the senior, had a great block on one of the linebackers to kick him out, and after that it was just off to the races and into the end zone. But good job. Gilbert Bettis graduated. He's a 3-year letterman from last year who graduated, who took off to go play college football. It looks like Aaron Vega filling his shoes nicely.
Kick by Bocanegra is up and good, and boy, that drive was quick. The Panthers on the board, 7-0. Another stud lineman they got back from last year's team is Larry Cardenas, and he'll make a difference.
Yeah, and it was just nice to see the Weslaco Panthers bounce back. Football it's a game of adversity. From one play you can be riding high, the next play anything can happen. They go from a block punt or stopping the team on 3 downs, then punt, and then they had that penalty, roughing penalty of the punter, and then Harlingen, just like that, goes down the field on a nice pass down the middle, but the turnover, Weslaco capitalizes. They get the ball off the 20. They move 80 yards down the field on 4 plays, to put the first points on the board for the 09 season.
That was impressive. That means the running game is still alive and well, isn't it?
Well, I think it's really, you gotta, if you have the right players in place, this offense is so deceptive. You can have big plays like that with all the faking and everything that goes on in the backfield. There's so many things that the Weslaco Panthers can do, and they've done over the past few years. And I think that it's just a matter of putting the right people in the right place, and the Panthers will be successful.
They look very good on that drive. I mean, think about it, Carlos. Not only the penalty against the kicker, but the holding penalty or chop block penalty to put him back to the 10-yard line, and then the pass to R.C. Cervantes, and then the long run by John Rojas. So here we go. I see one of the coaches walking by here. Little scouting going on. At the 10-yard line is the kickoff. Whoa, my goodness! And then up the middle they come with a run, and still on their feet down about the 38-yard line. I saw one of the Weslaco players bury a Harlingen South blocker, but it just helped the runner out a little bit more.
Yeah, they started the last drive on the 35-yard line. The Hawks did, and now here again they have a short field to work with on the 40-yard line. So that's certainly one thing the Panthers will want to work on is keeping this team back. You want to get them right around the 20 or back beyond the 20. You get a short field like that, it certainly does help the opposing team.
We don't want to let any secrets there. We have the Brownsville Hannah coach just to our right here, watching the action. Tom Chavez in the house. I believe they might have played last night, but I'm not sure. All right, here we go. Quarterback fakes. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm impressed early on, Carlos, with the tackling of Weslaco. I see number 90 in on the stop, and he was just among many. That's Jose Montiel, but there were other ones as well.
This is an option play for the quarterback. Could give to him or could keep it. Should have gave it to him. Instead, he keeps it, and he loses yards on that play. Good job once again. This defense so far, you got to be impressed.
Yep.
With the exception of that one long pass that turned into a fumble. They've done very well so far.
All right, they break out of the huddle. I'm trying to check out the quarterback because they've had a couple of guys. I think this is number 12, Steve Remiga. He's the other one listed. Yep, he's out there. They also have Zach Flores as a quarterback. Remiga he's the lefty. He's out there right now. He's looking to his right now. He's coming back. He's got a man wide open out there, but it passes out of bounds. It was just thrown a little bit low and to the far side, and then here we go again. 3rd down and 10 for the Harlingen South Hawks.
That's just good coverage there by the Weslaco Panthers. Dominic Elmore, he had his receiver blanketed very, very well, and he's one of those players. You'll see him line up all over the field.
Yep.
You know, sometime I remember last year they put him as a defensive lineman, and he was rushing and trying to pinch and trying to get in the backfield. He's that type of athlete. He's a big, strong player with a lot of speed, so you'll see him at linebacker. Sometimes they'll even put him in there as a lineman. All
right, Remiga calling. He's got 2 receivers on both sides of the field now. He drops straight back. Here comes a rush. Set up a screen pass. They got a little inside screen, and they got some running room at the 50, the 45. Still going down inside the 40. And I'll tell you, the quarterback, he better get rid of it quick because the Panthers have come out to play defense tonight.
Well, that's how you neutralize. That's how you neutralize. You know, the blitz coming to you, and when you have a lot of penetration like that, you just got to get behind that first wave because you got that wave coming at you as a quarterback. You got to get the ball over that wave because after that, you're going to have secondary guys and maybe a linebacker or two in the middle of the field. You block that linebacker out of the way, then you have a lot of open space to work with. That's what happened on that play. Elmore was the linebacker out there. They had 2 guys block him out of the play, and then a lot of space for the running back to work with, and that's why he was able to pick up a first down and a whole lot more.
Yeah, it was a big play for them. Boy, you hate to see this. 6 minutes into the first game of the season, the first quarter, and the nose guard, Derek Lopez, down on the ground, and he was holding his knee as he tried to come off the field. The trainers are out there immediately, but boy, you don't want to see this in the first game. You want to get through your non-district schedule with good help, that's for sure. That's probably the main goal. So 7:45 to go here in the first quarter, 7-0. The Panthers on a 74-yard run by running back John Rojas to kind of electrify the crowd. And I'll tell you, Carlos, as I look around this place tonight, I see a lot more purple than I do orange.
Yeah, they got
turnout.
Yeah, I mean, Weslaco Panthers, they have a good following. You know, going to the playoffs the last 3 years and a lot of success over the past few years. They've generated a big following, and they're going to go wherever the team is at. Whether it's Harlingen, Los Fresnos, you know, even the Alamo Dome a couple of years ago. The purple pride certainly follows their team wherever they go.
Let's hope Derek Lopez is okay because he's a big nose guard. I believe he played last year for him, and he's getting a little help coming off. But this is the first game. If you're going to recover, you got to do it now. But Bogus Stadium, one of the old venues in the Rio Grande Valley. Of course, the home of the Hawks and the Harlingen Cardinals, the two Harlingen schools, for about the last 18, 19 years since South became a school. Ball on the 38-yard line, first down and 10 under center this time, and they send a man in motion, and they hand off, trying to go wide, cuts the corner, and still on his feet, inside the 35 to about the 34-yard line. Randy Martinez, number 20, the running back.
Randy Martinez that time just a conventional give to him. He goes to the outside, showing what he can do. He broke one tackle and then goes to the outside and tries to pick up a few more yards. That's just good hard-nosed running there by the running back Martinez to pick up what 5 yards?
4 or 5, yeah. Ball inside, just inside the 35 at the 34-yard line. As Harlingen South breaks the huddle, trip receivers to the near side of the field. One running back, now they send Martinez in motion, they fake to him, get to Druley, the big guy. They've got him wrapped up at about the line of scrimmage. In fact, I think he lost a yard or so. Big John Druley, number 21, the bruiser, who got 13 yards on the first play of the game, but since then, Weslaco has been able to wrap him up.
Weslaco Panthers doing a fine job also of penetrating and getting things in the backfield. They disrupt things. When you're in the backfield like that and you're trying to fake here and fake there, if you got someone back there, that certainly is going to make things confusing, and that's what happened on that play.
Well, third down and about 8. They lost 2 on the play. And a big play as they send Martinez in motion to fake. Still a fake. Here's a big rush put on. You better get rid of it. And they do, and they got the reception. And down inside the 15-10. Oh, I'll tell you, that quarterback barely got that thing underway. Coming from the blind side that time was number 45, Michael Sines. And he just, oh man, not even maybe a half a second at most.
Yeah, you talk about the penetration. Once again, the Weslaco Panthers in the backfield. Just too many fakes by the Harlingen South Hawks. They fake one guy, fake another. Yeah, they get the play off, but just by a second there because he was going to be sacked. Instead, it's a nice completion down the field and another first down.
First down and the 13-yard line, the line of scrimmage. First and 10 for Harlingen South. They were down here a little bit earlier, but remember, they fumbled the ball on a reception. And here we go. 2 men behind the quarterback this time. And that time clock ran out. That's going to cost them 5. Oh, that's a big one. Instead of first and 10, it's going to be first and 15. You don't want to see that as a coach. You say Gilbert Leal, I came out here, I thought it was Jim Helms was the coach. I saw him over there, and but Gilbert Leal, I don't think looks anything like Jim Helms.
Yeah, Jim Helms is no longer here at Harlingen South.
Yeah, he's in Brownsville.
He was here for a couple of years. Yeah, he left, and Leal has replaced him.
Right. Yeah. I think this is his first year, isn't it, Gilbert Leal? At Harlingen South. Drop back to pass. Big rush put on. And almost intercepted at the goal line. It is. Boy, another lot of pressure by the Panther defense. They are all over this quarterback, either one of them. And another turnover.
Well, you got to give
second turnover.
Well, you got to give Jacob Lugo a lot of credit on that play. He's the one that was putting pressure on the quarterback, and he was trying to get rid of it. He's got to do a better job of getting rid of that a little bit quicker because once again the pressure came from the backside. He throws it up there, and it's intercepted. So Harlingen South once again knocking on the door, turned the ball over.
Yeah, that's 2 turnovers that have really cost him here in this first quarter. Now let's see what Randy Garcia can do. This is a big test. He's got the ball in the 4-yard line. Actually, they're going to say the 2-yard line, and he's got 98 yards to go. Let's see if they got some kind of a 98-yard play here. Man in motion is Cervantes. Inside handoff, and maybe, well, not much gain. Maybe a yard at the most. And they're going to say no gain, second down.
Yeah, this is a tough situation for the Panthers. You don't want to do anything too fancy in the backfield because if you lose yards, it's a 2-pointer. It's a safety. So it's going to be one of those plays where you give it to your big fullback and just let him try to get some yardage up the middle. They're going to call a timeout too. They want to talk this one over because this is really a dangerous spot for the Weslaco Panthers. They do so much faking in the backfield. If you get that penetration, it's going to be a safety right away.
Well, this is when you wish you had a quarterback that could punt. One of those quick kicks out of there.
Sure. Yeah. Well, I like the passing game so far, though. The Weslaco Panthers have done a good job of passing the ball, getting it out to their receivers. They had a couple of nice passes in this football game so far. So, as long as you give them some protection, there is no worry in letting your quarterback throw the ball, Randy Garcia.
Yeah, and Randy's new. I think he got a little time last year, but he's just a junior. So, this is probably going to be his job for a couple of years. And this is a tough one. You gotta come out here and you're in the visitor's backyard and on the 2-yard line. Let's see if, like I said, maybe they're going to get one out to Cervantes or we just don't know. So far, Harlingen South has looked decent on defense, but they gave up 2 big plays. And right now, Weslaco needs a 10-yard gain or something just to get out of there a little bit. But good call by Tony Villarreal, and he does use his timeouts a lot. He's not afraid to use them in the first half or first quarter for that matter. Here we go, Randy Garcia on the far end of the field. Handoff coming up the middle, trying to bounce to the outside. Oh, fumble! And Harlingen South all over it at about the 3 or 4 yard line. Oh, that thing came out big time, and now Harlingen South. This is going to be a huge test for the defense now, Carlos, as Harlingen South is going to have it first and goal on the 4 yard line.
Well, that's just one of those plays where you're gonna get the ball up the middle, and Harlingen South kind of knows that's coming because that's the safest play. And when you have a young team like that, you're going to run the safest play when you're inside the 5 yard line. You're backed up on your own end zone. And Harlingen South, they know that's coming, so they just load up on the running back and just try to strip that ball. And that's what happened. The ball popped loose, and now they're in business inside the 5, knocking on the door.
Yeah, I didn't see who the runner was on that play. We're kind of isolated away from it a little bit tonight, but it was the fumble was pretty dramatic as it popped up in the air. As Harlingen South to the line with only 2 seconds on the clock, and they have to burn a timeout. So time management right now for Harlingen South as they used up the clock down to 2 seconds. So we've got timeout on the field with 6:04 to go in the first quarter. Weslaco right now leading 7-0.
Get a life, a student life.
Get a college education, a great one, close to home.
Lots of career choices.
Certificates, associate degrees, or a bachelor's degree.
With flexible class schedules, or learn from home with online classes.
And now, online associate degrees.
Affordable tuition.
A great education.
And an awesome student life.
Get it all at South Texas College.
Well, Weslaco is back on the field, and here comes Harlingen South. This is going to be the biggest test so far in the ball game for this defense, which has been pretty good. But boy, first down and goal to go on the 4, that's asking a lot of this defense right now. Quarterback is Zach Flotis. Handoff, trying to get wide, and here's that defense again. That's about a 3 or 4 yard loss. Tremendous defense out there. One of the tacklers I thought was, what was it, 86, I believe? Jacob Chapa? No, he's a receiver, but what a tremendous defensive effort that time. Loss of 2 on the play.
Yeah, once again, penetration for the Weslaco Panthers. That's how they've been able to stop this orange attack. They go to the left. What I don't understand is all the beef is on that right-hand side. Look at big old number 71. You go behind him, and you're going to pick up a couple of yards.
Second down and goal. Fake. They're going to throw. Here comes a rush on into the end zone. Incomplete, out of bounds. I'm looking at the official, and we couldn't hardly see it, but we're watching the scoreboard a little bit. And whoops, they say. But hey, another break. If we can hold these guys to a field goal here, this would be what you call a moral victory, big time.
Well, Harlingen South still looking for their first score, or the first touchdown, I should say, of the season. They only scored 2 points last week against Veterans, and so far they've had a couple of opportunities inside the red zone twice here, or 3 times, I should say, and they still haven't been able to put points on the board.
All right, third down and goal to go, and the ball on about the 6 yard line. And they're going to try it again. Zach Flotis is the quarterback, number 10. He's going to send a man in motion. He's going to roll to his left. No! Oh, hello! And my goodness. What's going? Is that Elmore that made that hit?
That hit was courtesy of number 29, Eric Hernandez.
My
the
goodness.
Junior linebacker at 5'7" and 165 pounds just penetrates through the middle. He just shoots the gap. And sometimes you guess the right gap, and he was able to do that, and he met his attacker right at the line of scrimmage, and he was bounced backward.
I felt that one up here. That was a game show, and we got the ball. I didn't realize that. There was a turnover on the play. I didn't see that one, but we'll take it. Hand off again, cutting back up to the middle here, and up to about the 15 yard line. Nice little nifty gain that time by, I believe, number 32. That's Ralph Garcia, one of the running backs. So we got number 32 and number 22 as running backs, Garcia and John Rojas.
So far, you got to be happy with the way this defense is playing. 3 times inside the green zone, or I should say inside the red zone. That one inside the 5 yard line, and they stopped.
Hand off again. This time the Harlingen South defense all over it at about the 17 yard line. But, you know, that hit, that was Garcia again, Ralph Garcia on the carry. But that hit by Eric Hernandez, that's going to be a highlight film for the rest of the rest of the year, I think. That was just, like you said, he guessed right. And it was his number. And that's twice tonight, I think, Eric Hernandez has been, the defense tonight, to me, has just been awesome or impressive here in the early going. Hand off again, and well, another fumble. And now I think Harlingen South has got it. So we've got a game of turnovers going on. That's Harlingen South has 3 turnovers. We have 2, and we've only played about 8 minutes in the ball game.
Yeah, you see turnovers, but five turnovers already in one game, and you got to hold on to that football. Not a lot of humidity. It's not wet out here. There's really no excuse for that one. You just got to hold on to that ball, hold on to it tight. A little of inexperience showing right here for the Weslaco Panthers.
Well, you can't say Harlingen South is not getting field position. They've had that, but
yeah, their worst field position has been the 35.
Yeah, but the Weslaco defense has just risen to the occasion. I mean, they had it 1st and goal at the 4. And they not only got backed up on a couple of plays, they actually lost the football.
Yeah, and here they are on the 18-yard line now, and wow.
Yeah, they got trip receivers.
It doesn't get any better than that.
Then they're going to have to burn another timeout.
Well, actually, it does get better because they had the ball on the 5-yard line.
Yeah. But that's 2 timeouts in this quarter that they've had to call because they mismanaged the clock. They had it going down to 0.
Yeah, once again, if you're Coach Leal, you can't be happy with what you've seen so far with 3 turnovers on your side, a couple of critical penalties, a 5-yarder here, or not a 5-yarder penalty, but they had to use a timeout before there was a penalty. So Coach Leal, when he was over at Mercedes, he was didn't really have these types of problems as far as mental errors. So he has to be a little frustrated so far with what's going on.
Yeah, and a lot of coaches say that the biggest improvement is between game 1 and game 2 for a team usually, between the first 2 games of the season. But I'll tell you, Carlos, we didn't know what we were going to get coming into the season with the Weslaco team. Everybody said, well, how are they going to do? Well, right now I'm impressed with this defense.
Well, you got to take it one day at a time. You got to take it one game at a time. And this is a young team, so they're going to improve week in and week out. So you're not going to see the best performance of the Weslaco Panthers in week 1. Wait till week 7, week 8, then you can really judge how good this team will be.
Here we go, out of a shotgun with trip receivers to one side, 2 to the other side. They got everybody out for a pass this time. 5 receivers spread out. The quarterback is number 12, and that is Stephen Remiga. He's got he just overthrown. So far, the quarterbacks have been quasi-accurate.
Well, yeah, Remiga, once again, probably remembering what has happened the last few times he tried to pass the ball. He's out there and he gets a lot of pressure. That time, no pressure, but his memory reminds him that, hey, you better get rid of this ball quickly because the last time I held on to it, I got hit. So that might be having an effect on him already.
I'm looking down here at Tom Chavez from Brownsville Hannon. He's just on his edge of his seat watching all of this. He's letting his other guys, his assistants, take notes, but he's observing this big time. Out to the outside here. And good tackling again by the Panthers down around the 15 or 16-yard line. Not too much gain in the play, maybe a couple. It's going to bring up 3rd down and about 8 again. And that Panther defense just doing their thing.
Yeah, and that's a play that took a long time to develop for the Harlingen South Hawks also. I mean, that's one of those plays where you get out there, you zip it to your receiver, then he makes a break down the field. But that play took way too long to develop. He was looking down the field as they try to freeze the cornerbacks, but they weren't biting at all. He throws it out there, and they don't pick up anything on that play.
Remiga again, looking it over. He's down about 5 seconds on the time clock here. There's that time there was all over, and I see penalty markers everywhere. I'm not sure if it was holding or what it was out there.
It's going to the Panthers jumped off sides on that play, just a little bit too early. That's going to be a 5-yard or 10-yard penalty.
For offside?
5-yard penalty,
5-yarder rather.
Yeah, they a little anxious that time. Panthers have had about 3 penalties in this ball game. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 3, but so far they've been a little. Harlingen South has been a little hesitant on the running game. They haven't had too many runs tonight, mostly throwing the ball. Once again, they send every receiver out, 3 to one side, 2 to the other, and Remiga's back there by himself. He's the lefty. Straight back drop. Here comes the rush on setting up a screen play into the middle of the field and knocked down. There's come on. Is that an offset or is that a penalty for interference?
No, that's going to be a penalty on the ball hit an offensive lineman.
Okay.
So that's going to be an illegal receiver downfield.
Good call.
Or an illegal receiver.
Good call.
We'll listen. That's what it looked like to me. ineligible receiver. There you go.
Got an eligible receiver. Downfield.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I studied my
Good job,
UIL
good job.
rule book this week.
All right. Did you discover any new rules this year?
Actually, I didn't.
Okay.
Don't ask me what new rules here.
Okay.
I just know that one from the old days.
All right.
So that was a lineman. Yeah.
Did you ever catch a pass as a lineman?
Yeah.
Tackle or guard?
I was a tackle, left tackle, first team all district.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
The only sport I got first team was baseball. Football was, I was a center. Nobody recognizes a center. All right, we got 3rd down and 8 as they bring the ball back to the 16-yard line. Remigan will try it again. Well, he's going to have to be quick. He lofts it into the end zone. All kinds of receivers out there. And almost intercepted. There was about 5 players in the direction of that ball. That's going to bring up 4th down and 8.
He had no business throwing that ball either, Terry. He had one orange jersey and 4 white jerseys. He throws it up there almost like a Hail Mary. He's lucky that one wasn't intercepted. He was determined he was going to throw the ball out there. He goes back there, sets up, just throws it up for grabs to the intended receiver, but everyone was there. All the defenders were there.
That's the kind of pass you throw with no time on the clock when you're just trying to get something up there. All right, we're going to have a field goal attempt from the 24-yard line. It'll be a 34-yard attempt. Add the 10 on for the goalpost. Here's the snapback. Here's the kick up. And it is no good. So the Panthers dodge another bullet, so to speak. And another great defensive stand here from Weslaco. They'll actually get better field position. They're going to start at about the 16-yard line or so, or maybe the 20.
Yeah, you got to hand it to this defense. Once again, their backs were against the wall. They were at the 18-yard line, the Hawks were, and they couldn't do anything. Didn't get a first down, didn't do much. Tried that field goal. It was off to the left, and you got to hand it to the Panther defense.
I don't know if Derek Lopez is going to come back in, Carlos. I see him down here on the table in front of us. He's got a big old wrap around his left knee, and they might be keeping him out for safety reasons. Man in motion, inside, a reverse handoff again, and maybe a yard at the very most. They're trying that counter play that they've tried last year with their, all the different movements, as you say. But so far, Harlingen South has got it scouted pretty well.
Well, that's what they run. That's what the Panthers have run. It's an offense that has been very, very successful in the high school ranks, and for Coach Tony Villarreal. He's run it everywhere he's gone. That time, the Harlingen South Hawks able to stop it from just a couple-yard gain.
But you only have to break it once, like Rojas did. And Rojas out of the ball game right now, 2nd down and 8. They send Cervantes in motion, inside handoff to the big guy. That's probably Randy Garcia, or not Randy Garcia, but Ralph Garcia, number 32.
Another run play for the Weslaco Panthers, but what I like so far is that they've had to pass a couple of times early in this game, and when they do, they've been successful. So on this 3rd and about 5 yards to go, the options are available. You can run that pass. Randy Garcia has shown that he can get the ball out there.
Sabino Reyna, and we saw him last year, started out as an offensive player, went to the defense. He's listed as a defensive back, but he's still a pretty good receiver.
Yeah, he's one of those guys from the track team, a lot of speed out there.
Cervantes with some speed in motion. Down the field, Garcia's got plenty of time. He's got a receiver out there and just overthrows him. Boy, I'll tell you what, I was impressed. It was a good pass to Sabino Reyna, but look at the time that Randy Garcia got to throw the ball.
Yeah, he was out there. He had plenty of time to set up and look for his receiver, got it out there. And I don't know if that one hit the hands of Reyna or one of the South Hawks, got a little tip on it there, but maybe that pass just a little bit higher over the defenders, and Reyna makes that catch.
Well, I'm not sure who the punter is this year. I know that Boca Negra is the kicker. I'm looking for a punter in the program. We'll check it out here and see who it is. Is that number 2? Or number 6? Jesse Trevino? I'm not sure. Hard to see the numbers from where we're at here. Good snapback. Oh, the kick is blocked. Oh, my goodness. Another turnover, this time at about the 10 or 11-yard line. Wow.
Unfortunately for the Weslaco Panthers, special teams has really had a lot of problems here so far in this game. The kickoff returns, the coverage has not really been that good, and now a block punt. And look at this once again. You're putting pressure on your defense. They've held this team. They've been in that green zone or that red zone several times, and now once again, they're going to have to stop them as they got the ball at the 11-yard line.
And as good as Carlos as the defense is playing tonight, you just can't be out there all the time. What a tremendous effort so far. The ball is on just outside the 10, so they could get a first down. I believe it's about. to big man go through Truly, and he gets inside the 5. I don't know. There's another fumble. Who's got this one?
They're going to say he's down.
Oh, my. It has been a fumble parade here in this first quarter. We're still in the first quarter yet. It's been a long one. They got the ball, it looks like about the 4-yard line, so he's got 2nd down and 3 to go. Inside the 5 again, counting down about a minute, 15 seconds to go. Remiga, the quarterback. And this time another penalty.
Probably procedure now.
They've hurt themselves with key penalties, and instead of 2nd and 3, it's going to go back to 2nd and 8, and against this Panther defense.
It's been a very sloppy game for Harlingen South, especially with their turnovers and penalties right there. And I don't know how many more chances Harlingen South needs to put their first points on the board for the offense.
Well, Weslaco's really had three turnovers tonight. 2 fumbles and a block kick. Remiga rolling to his left, still rolling. And in the middle, actually, that was Zach Flores. Touchdown in the back of the end zone. They say he came down inbounds. He bobbled the ball and then caught it. I thought when he bobbled it, he went out of bounds, but they're going to give him credit. That was actually Zach Flores, a right-hander, who threw the touchdown pass.
Well, Remiga had a couple of options right there. He could have ran the play. Instead, he throws it out there to his receiver. As we check out the replay, looks like he gets 1 foot down, but did he have control of the football? The official right there, he makes the call.
All right, with 51 seconds to go in the quarter, Harlingen South, after another Weslaco turnover, gets the touchdown and the extra point, and we are tied at 7.
Harlingen South gets their first points of the game on that play right there. Just a very short series for them as they get the ball. That was about the 11-yard line that they got the ball after the block punt, and they go just 3 plays and they get the touchdown.
We haven't had field position all night. I think all of our possessions have started either at the 20 or inside the 20, and we've been capitalizing on turnovers, but we've turned the ball over a few times ourselves.
Yeah, the entire offense has been that one long play for the touchdown. Yeah. That's, if you take a look at the stats, that's been their entire offense, is that one long run for the touchdown to put points on the board.
Well, we're tied at 7, 51 seconds to go in the first quarter. It's been a long one. And let's see if Weslaco can get some decent field position here and move the football a little bit, because Harlingen South has not had much, they haven't had to take the ball very far. First time they've been able to capitalize, and that was even controversial on the ball. Like I said, it bounced off his uniform. He finally did catch it, but I thought when he finally caught it that he was actually out of bounds. But from our vantage point, the referee had a much better viewpoint than us. So here we go. I see R.C. Cervantes back there. I believe Rojas also back there. Here we go, the kickoff. A little pooch kick on the far side of the field, picked up there about the 15-yard line, trying to get away from people. And not much on the return at all. Maybe out to the 16-yard line. Boy, his blockers were quite a ways away from him on that return that time. So 7-7 is our score, and we still don't have the ball over the 20-yard line. So field position has been, like I said, had an impact on this game so far. We're tied at 7. Randy Garcia, the quarterback. There's a penalty marker. And trying to get outside is the Weslaco running back. That is John Rojas, but this is all coming back. I'm sorry, Randy Lopez. Okay, my bad.
I think I've been calling Randy Garcia all game too. So
Randy Lopez. We'll get it right. We'll hear from Mom and Dad, that's for sure.
Yeah, they'll give KWS a call.
Oh, hey, a break there. 5-yard penalty against Harlingen South for all sides. So with 37 seconds to go, Weslaco, well, this is going to be a toss-up. I'm sure they may take the penalty because they keep it at first down. Oh, well, my bad. What do I know? Well, he got about 7 yards in the play. The ball is at about the, well, let's see, about the 23-yard line. Man in motion again. Handoff against the grain and up to the 30-yard line. Number 40, Ryan Flores, I believe that's who it was. Was that 40?
Yeah, that
Sure
was.
like
That was a, you know, Ryan Flores is 6 foot, 200 pounds. Looked like an animal back there, running the football nice and hard and right up the middle like that. And good, strong, hard running. Likes to see that for the Weslaco Panthers as a big boy like that. You know, because he had a lot of jerseys all over him, but he was able to break some tackles and pick up the first down.
He's listed in the program as a linebacker, but he's got a running back number. About 10 seconds to go to the quarter. It might be the last play. Handoff trying to go wide as Rojas, and he's tripped up in the backfield for a loss back to about the 26. So that's going to do it. We played one quarter. The score even, 7-7, Weslaco, Harlingen South.
El año pasado sabía que quería ir a la universidad, pero no sabía cómo pagarla. Estaba preocupada, pero mi consejero del programa Gear Up me dijo que el gobierno me podía ayudar. Y para obtener ese dinero, solo tuve que llenar una forma. Esa forma es el FAFSA. El día 1 de enero es cuando puedo llenar la forma de FAFSA para el próximo año escolar. Y tú sabes que voy a tomar ese paso para asegurar que mi carrera se mantenga en la dirección correcta.
Second down and 14. Lopez with Cervantes in motion. Pitch back to RC, trying to go wide, behind some blockers, getting to the outside, 35, 40, 45, 47-yard line, out of bounds on the Harlingen South side. Nice little run for RC Cervantes. He just loping out there, got some big blockers in front of him, and did a great job, and he's got another Panther first down.
Yeah, and they'll spread the ball around to several players out there that time. Just a nice little play. Good blocking in the open field out there. You had your linemen out there, your receivers, and they just did a good job. Pick up a nice first down on that play. You don't need to break everyone for a touchdown, but just get 10 yards if possible. Try to move the chains.
46-yard line. Little motion this time. Lopez, the quarterback, with a man in motion, and got their ball again at the 45, the 50, inside the 50 to the 48-yard line. That's RC Cervantes again, just going right and going left.
Yeah, RC on that time, you know, he was out there running and waiting for his blocker. Sometimes you got to wait for your blocker to make this move, and RC had to slow up a little bit. He's got the speed, but that time waited for his blocker, and that was Herrera, who came out there, number 27, to make the block. He had to hesitate a little bit before he hit the hole. That's one thing the great backs always do. Wait for that blocker to make that block, then make your cut.
All right, second down and about 5 yards to go. Cervantes in motion again. This time they fake to come inside, handoff to the 50. Trying to break tackles is Rojas. 45, inside the 45. He is going to be real close to another first down. John Rojas. You know, we almost lost RC Cervantes to Harlingen. I remember I had him as a student when he was in the 8th grade. About halfway through the school year, he moved to Harlingen. Fortunately for us, he moved back. And so he is a Panther instead of a Card or a Hawk.
Yeah, well, nice run little there. It's good to have him there because Rojas, just a nice job. It looked like they had him back there for a loss or maybe just 1 or 2 yards gain, but he was able to keep his feet, make a couple of moves to get the first down.
First and 10, Randy Lopez again. And I don't know what this penalty is about, because unless there was some movement in the line, but it was called before anybody moved. It might be against Weslaco, I'm not sure. Yep, illegal procedure. It's going to cost us 5. And I believe Panthers want a timeout, Carlos. So with 10:51 to go in the second quarter, we are tied at 7.
Hi, I'm Sean Johnson of the 2008 U.S. Gymnastics team. I'm here with our friends from Veggie Tales to say, be a player, get up and play an hour a day.
Now that's something to flip for.
Well done. For fun ways to get healthy, visit www.smallstep.gov.
Coach Tony Villarreal talking to number 4, Joe DeLeon, as he brings the play in from the sideline. Notice on the roster here, Carlos, number 7, one of our old favorite baseball players, Timmy Serna, playing listed as a receiver. So
yeah, they got several baseball players on this team here. Aaron Buciaga, who is All Valley also on the team, All Valley baseball player.
I'm not sure if he's playing tonight or not. I don't see him out there. He's supposed to be number 8, but let's see how it goes here. Weslaco has the ball in Hawk territory at about the 49 or 48-yard line. They come to the line. We'll get it right. Randy Lopez is the quarterback. And they come in motion. Fake. He's going to throw down the field. Oh, he's got a man in the
wide
middle.
Open.
Wide open, Cervantes. 15, cuts back at the 10, the 5, into the end zone. Touchdown, RC Cervantes. And he has been part of the story here tonight.
Well, you know, great job here by the Weslaco Panthers. Randy Lopez, that time right there, we talked about his arm earlier, made a nice pass earlier this game to get a first down, and that time he was patient, waiting for his receiver to be wide open, and he certainly was. R.C. Cervantes, no one was around him. He makes the catch, and a little move to get it to the end zone.
Yeah, and Harlingen South got a player hurt right now, but Weslaco, that time, like I said, the big thing I notice out here is he's getting time to throw. And any quarterback does that, he can become an All-American if you got time, because he'll pick any defense apart. But you're right, Cervantes was out here. Somebody forgot him. And I can't believe they did, because to me, he's maybe the premier player on the offense so far this year.
Well, South does a good job of they're playing the run. They're playing that run, and they're with that run first, so they're leaving a lot of things wide open for the receivers. And that time, Cervantes, you know, he'll come from that backfield. So, you know, he's one of those players that can play wide receiver or come out of the backfield and be wide open. That's what happened on that play.
Bocanegra, the kicker. I believe he did the kicking last year as well. Or he was one of the kickers last year. 10:42 to go on that touchdown run or touchdown pass. And the kick is up and good. So the Panthers are leading 14-7. Both touchdowns tonight, Carlos, have been the long kind. This was, I believe, a 46 or 47-yard pass from Garcia to Cervantes. The other one was a 74-yard run by John Rojas. So they've used the big ball tonight to put the two on the board.
Yeah, and we're used to seeing that as Weslaco Panthers fans. You know, it's not a type of offense where you're going to drive the ball down the field and drive the ball down the field. It's an offense that is explosive. They can score from anywhere on the field, you know, whether you have Michael Blackman, Misha Rivas, or R.C. Cervantes for the 09 season. It looks like they are explosive. They always have been.
Yeah, they have looked good so far. Bocanegra will kick off as Weslaco High School has taken the lead. Trying to maybe get some more before halftime. This time, if they can get the ball deep, Carlos, let's see what Harlingen South can do with an entire field. But we'll cross that when we get to it. See how the special teams do on this particular kickoff. Low on the ground, still picked up at about the 14-yard line. Panthers trying to get to him. Oh, got some running room to the outside. They're over the 40 again, 45, 50, and down they go. Oh, another long run for Harlingen South on the special teams. Finally, number 36 comes up from behind, Ernesto Tafoya, and gets the tackle. But wow, that's another long run and great field position for Harlingen South.
Coach Villarreal can't be too happy about that. And the runner right there, the return man, he had go down the sideline basically, and usually that works to the advantage of the coverage team. When you're up the middle, it's a little bit harder to cover a guy, but when you have that sideline, you use that to your advantage. But that time, great blocking there by the South Hawks, and once again, they're in Weslaco Panther territory.
Yeah, they sure are. The ball at the 44-yard line. The Panthers are almost better kicking the ball out of bounds than having the other team get it at the 30, you know. There's Drewley. He's down to the 40-yard line. He got maybe 2 or 3 yards in the play. And another injury for Harlingen South. That's 2 in the last couple of plays. That looks like number 1 down in the field. That's Anthony Hernandez, the injured Harlingen Hawk, as the Weslaco trainers are out immediately on the field. So 10:22 to go here in this first half. This is week number 1, Carlos, in the high school football program. Last week was week 0. That was the off week for the Panthers. They will play the next 10 Fridays or Saturdays in a row now. Next week they go to Rio Grande City, but right now they're trying to take care of business with the Harlingen South Hawks. That's actually number 7 that was injured. That's Samuel Pettis. Well, they got some uniforms that are hard to read, that orange and kind of a greenish look on them. Weslaco got some sharp-looking uniforms this year. Got the stripe, the racing stripe down the side. New-looking helmets. Every year, just a little bit different look. And there's Sabino Reyna out there as one of the cornerbacks. I'm looking out there, number 24. I believe Omar Pena played last year, didn't he? As one of the backs, one of the defensive players. I remember calling his name out a few times in the lineup, number 16 for Weslaco. They do have some defenders coming back. Dominic Elmore is back as well. Fake the handoff. That's Remiga. Oh, that was an arm tackle, but it was a strong one. That's Eric Hernandez again. He just ripped on the shoulder of the quarterback and knocked him down.
That's just one of those plays where the offensive line needs to do a better job for the South Hawks of holding this defense. But give credit once again to Eric Hernandez for getting in the backfield and getting around these big guys, because sometimes it's not about how strong you are or how big you are, but how quick you are. And that time Eric Hernandez using his quickness to get around the big offensive lineman and get the sack.
9:36 to go to halftime. Weslaco leading 14-7. 3rd down and 10 from about the 43-yard line. Remiga is the quarterback. He's the lefty. He's got the ball and rolling left. Here's a big rush put on. Still looking to throw into the middle. Throws it down on the ground. I don't know if he caught it or not. Let's see if they give him credit for the catch. It was right. Well, I think he does get credit for the catch. It looked like it almost hit the ground first.
Yeah, and the officials both looking at each other like, okay, what do you see? So the guy in the back, with the official from the back, is the one that made the catch on that player, made the call. And I don't know how he makes that call from back there, but sometimes you got to make it. We don't have instant replay here in UIL football, so he had to make a decision. That's what he decided.
And he got the first down, barely, Carlos. He made that by maybe a yard or so at most, but they kept the drive going, a big 3rd down play. Remiga has got receivers. They've got a spread offense big time. 2 or 3 receivers to each side. Fake the handoff. Nope, they've got to have the handoff, and they're going to bring him down. That's big number 90, Jose Montiel, on the tackle, dragging Drewley down, and maybe not much gain at all if he maybe lost a half a yard.
Yeah, these linebackers so far doing an outstanding job for the Panthers, whether it's Montiel or some of the other ones that are just penetrating in the backfield. Eric Hernandez also making a name for himself on the defensive front for the Weslaco Panthers. But so far, you got to be impressed with the purple and white defense.
3 down linemen. We have to check out who our new nose guard is. Derek Lopez was the nose guard early on, but he was injured back in the 1st quarter. Rim again, looking left. Big brush put on. Flutters one up there and intercepted by the Panthers, I believe. It was on the far side of the field. Who's that coming off the field? Is that a 1 and a 6? If it is, it's Omar Pena. I'm looking for him as he comes. I believe it was. Yep, that's who it was. Omar Pena with a interception over there on the far side of the field. And Weslaco will do business now inside the 20 again. That's nothing new. That is another turnover. That's at least 4 for Harlingen South Hawks here in the first half. But Omar Pena playing a little center field out there, and that ball was kind of fluttering that way after a big rush put on.
Yeah, once again, it starts with the boys up front, the penetration, getting in the backfield, putting a little bit of pressure on Remiga. Has to let it go, even though the receiver was not in his position. So he just throws it up there, and it turns into an interception.
Here's the offense again. Quarterback's going to run it this time. Whoa! I don't know if that is, what do you call it, horse collaring?
Got to be a face mask.
Or something of that nature. You just don't come down like that. Randy Lopez, rather, the ball carrier, behind his blocking, but he was taken down by the head.
Well, that was a violent play, most definitely. Randy Lopez just going down hard on that play. And I don't know if it was a shoulder pad or something, but just an awkward way to bring him down.
All right, a gain of about 2 on the play by the quarterback. The line of scrimmage, the 12-yard line. Once again, Weslaco starting inside their 20. I don't think they've started outside of their 20 yet. Lopez again as Cervantes goes in motion. They're going to pitch it to him, trying to get wide. Got some blockers out there, and he's got some space. Down the sideline, then out of bounds over there on the Harlingen South side, but another big play for R.C. Cervantes.
Yeah, good blocking down the field once again. Randy Lopez even getting in on the action as he goes. He pitches out, and then he goes ahead of his runner out there to try to make a block, and he makes the key block. And the Panthers, yeah, they were inside their, 15-yard line to get the ball now to about the 25-yard line, back in business.
Yeah, Randy Garcia and Ryan Flores leading the block. Those are 2 big guys you were talking about out in front. And R.C. Cervantes, he doesn't look like he's fast, but he is. And he just kind of, real nice, easy pace. All right, 1st and 10 for Weslaco, and he goes in motion. Now they're going to do a counter play coming back and trying to get to the outside to the 25, the 30. Here goes Rojas again down the sideline and breaking tackles, and down he goes at about the 30-yard line. And I'm going to have to get up for that play like the rest of the fans. I like sitting down, but I think I can see it a little better up here. But there's John Rojas again, Carlos, with a nice run.
Well, you talk about speed, and the Weslaco Panthers have always had speed. They're they got a lot of guys from the track team, and John Rojas is one of those guys. You know, you talk about the Meshaks and the Michael Blackmans, but they got guys who are on that track team. They've had a lot of success from the track the past few years, and Rojas certainly has the speed.
Out of an I formation this time, a little different look. Randy Lopez movement, that's going to cost the Panthers 5, as Cervantes was lining up as the tailback. A little out of cadence. But you know, all of this stuff that we've been talking about for the last several years doesn't work at all unless you got a good offensive line. And the offensive line has been doing a real good job for the Panthers here tonight.
You know, whether it's Sabino Reina or one of these other guys, John Rojas, you know, those are guys from the track team, Terry. Those are guys who you know, won district as a freshman. They were on the freshman varsity. They were on the varsity team as freshmen and won a district championship as freshmen. So,
first down and 15. The ball at the 39-yard line. Handoff. Got some room. Cuts back at the 35 to about the 32-yard line. R.C. Cervantes again. He's doing it as a wide receiver. He's doing it as a running back. And this is where you find your team. When you got a young team like this, the first 3 non-district games, this is where you find your players for the rest of the season.
Well, he wears number 80, and it has a receiver, if you take a look at the roster, but he comes out of the backfield, and that's what the Weslaco Panthers do. They spread the ball around. You're going to see several backs, you know, get plenty of yards, and don't be surprised if you have a couple of backs here at the end of the game who have 100 yards or more, or 3 backs that have 100 yards or more.
I think Rojas already has 100. Fake the pass, down the field. Garcia with time, lost it. He's got a wide receiver out there, and caught, I believe. Touchdown, number 4, Joe DeLeon. And once again, Lopez with plenty of time.
And that was just a great read by Randy Lopez, because he was looking over here on the left-hand side and looked like he wanted to get the ball down the field to R.C. Cervantes, but he was well covered. So he looks in the other direction. He goes to his second read, and that's Joe DeLeon who makes the catch. And it looks like they should have given the touchdown. Instead, it's at the 1-yard line.
I thought it was a touchdown. At first I saw the referee. I thought he put his both arms up, but now he must have pulled one down real quick.
It was still just a great job by Lopez not to throw to R.C. Cervantes, go to his second receiver to DeLeon.
First and goal at the 1. Handoff, trying to get inside. Who's got the touchdown, I believe? Let's wait and see.
Give it to him. That's a touchdown.
Yeah. Side judge, yes. Side judge comes in, says touchdown. Garcia, they say. That would be Randy Garcia.
Yeah. Well,
I believe he's because Lopez is the quarterback.
Okay.
I heard him say Garcia. The only Garcia we got is a running back as well. And he is the fullback in this team. Bocanegra in, but here comes Weslaco in the second quarter, Carlos. And other than a few hiccups early on with some turnovers, they're starting to look real good. So the touchdown is scored, and Bocanegra will try the extra point. And guess who's the holder? R.C. Cervantes. So, you know, if something should glitch up, you got him in there as well. But we've got a penalty. Yep. Oh,
well, poor special teams, man. They're having it rough.
Yeah,
whether it's a coverage team or being a block punt or a 5-yard penalty, it's been rough for the special teams so far in this game.
Well, the special team coordinator is Jimmy Ortiz, and I'm sure he's talking to his boys big time down there. And I'm sure that between week 1 and week 2, there's going to be a lot of work there in that special teams. And the kick is up and good. So with 6:08 to go in the second quarter, it's Weslaco 21 and Harlingen South 7.
Look for the bare necessities.
The bare necessities of healthy living are easier than you think.
You better believe it.
All it takes is the right balance of being active and eating well. And the food pyramid shows you the way. Just remember, every color, every day.
With just the bare necessities of life. Crazy.
So eat right. Be active.
Now move. That's it.
And have lots of fun. For your own path to a healthier you, visit mypyramid.gov.
Now, this doesn't seem like a big play, but this is a big play for the Weslaco team here because, as you mentioned, special teams, they need a hold inside the 35 or 30-yard line to make Harlingen South use this field here. I don't think they've punted yet tonight, maybe once, and we had a roughing the kicker. But this is a big play coming up here on the kickoff. Let's see if the special teams can pin them back a little bit. Bocanegra will try to kick off here. Oh, kind of a squibbering in the middle of the field here. Picked up at about they dropped the ball at the 25-yard line. Picked up, who's got it?
He held on to it just barely, Terry, but that's not a bad play. They're not a bad call by Coach Vidal and the special teams. You know, the coverage team hasn't been there. They're probably still working out a few things, but just get the ball up the middle and see what happens. And look what they get the ball at the 30-yard line instead of the 40 or 45, which has happened earlier in this game.
Well, that ball is tough to pick up when it's rolling and bouncing around like that. When you know you want to pick it up and run with it. The ball is actually on the 28-yard line. So this is the, they say 29, but either way, this is the deepest that Harlingen South has been to start a drive all night long. They've got 2 running backs and receivers to both sides of the field. They pitch back, trying to get some running room. Oh, tripped up at about the 30. And I believe that's big number 90. He's limping a little bit, Montiel, but he's limping a little bit, but good play by that time.
Yeah, Montiel so far, we've talked about him a couple of times, one of those defensive linemen, defenders type of guys that can just, you know, move down the field. And every once in a while, we'll see these big guys, and they'll develop in those first 1 or 2 games where you can see the big athleticism, the size of these guys, and they start making names for themselves. And we'll be talking about Montiel plenty of times throughout the year.
All right, faking to Pat, now going to throw. That's Zach Flores. Oh, little contact out there. Little welcoming by Eric Hernandez again. That's Zach Flores. I look at the, Flores is the right-hander, Remiga is the left-hander. And boy, that hit the receiver right in the worst spot, right in the chest.
Yeah, and once again, Coach Leon has to be frustrated with his football team because they've had opportunities to make completions, to pick up yards here and there, and that's another drop. They had a drop earlier in this game, the receiver did, and that time Remiga, yeah, under pressure once again, fires it to his receiver, unable to pick up the ball because he was throwing it so hard. At close range, it's hard to catch those balls. Frustration for the South Hawks and for Coach Leon.
All right, here we go. Flores still the quarterback. He's rolling to this left. He's a right-hander, remember. Up the middle, and he's got a receiver out there and a first down at the 50, 45-yard line out of bounds. So a big play by the Harlingen South offense as they alternate. Whoa, a little penalty mark at the end of that play. That's going to hurt the Panthers. They're rotating the quarterbacks tonight. I read about that in the paper that they have 2 quarterbacks. And let's see where they're going to move the ball. I believe they might be moving it back. I thought I saw a penalty mark at the very end of the play. Personal foul. Fans from Weslaco are not too excited about that. As now all of a sudden Harlingen South is deep in Weslaco territory at the 28-yard line. So,
and this is something we've seen throughout the game where the defense has had to step up to the challenge. Up 21-7 in this football game. They've done, you know, the ball inside the 5-yard line. They've held the South Hawks. So let's see what they do here.
All right, Flores. This is his drive as he hands off to Drewley, and once again Drewley is dragged down. I believe that's number 46 this time, or 45. That would be Michael Sines.
Also Michael Thompson, number 35 on that play. And so far, Terry, as far as his defense is concerned, you got to be impressed with these linebackers. Oh, yeah. They're not the big, stocky guys that bench press 400 pounds, but they're quick. They're quick and fast, you know, maybe about 175, 190 pounds. They can move to the ball. And you got to be happy so far if you're the defensive coordinator for this football team with what you see in those linebackers.
All right, we have got timeout on the field with a score 21-7 Weslaco. 4:46 to go to halftime.
It's been a passion of mine to make a difference in a child's life. I began my career in the classroom, and over the years I've climbed the ranks of administration, with the last stage serving as Weslaco superintendent. I am proud of my accomplishments, including being named Region 1 Superintendent of the Year. But this couldn't have happened without my education at UT Pan American. It gave me the knowledge to be a leader for our youth. UTPA made a difference in my life. It can make a difference in yours.
Panthers coming back on the field. Parents' night here for the Harlingen South Hawks. They introduced all the players and their parents before the start of tonight's game. Ball inside the 30 at about the 27-yard line. Second down and 9 for the green and orange of Harlingen South. Pitch out right up the middle, got some running room, and down to about the 21-yard line goes number 20 for Harlingen South, Randy Martinez. He's going to be close to a first down, a couple yards shy.
The big third down right here for both teams, Terry, if they can make the stop. If not, this drive will continue. And the South Hawks, you know, this is one of those plays, probably 4-down territory for them. I don't know if they'll take a field goal attempt from there. Last time they tried a long one, it was no good.
All right, third down at about 1 or 2. Fake again, quarterback drawing. That's Flores, Zach Flores. Now he's trying to run, cuts up inside and tripped up at about the 15 or 14-yard line. He's got the first down. Florida's a right-handed quarterback. I guess it's his drive. I think they alternate drives.
Now that's a smart move by Flores. You know, you roll out to the right-hand side there, and everyone's covered, and you see a big gaping hole like that. You only need 3 yards. Go ahead and run the ball. Run the ball and try to get the first down. Don't try to go for the end zone if the play's not there. Take off running and just get the first.
All right, the ball on the 15-yard line. And Florida's again, first down and 10 for South. They sent a man in motion this time. Bring him over to the right side. Handoff, coming wide, trying to get outside. Panthers converging down at about the 11 or 12-yard line. Good gang tackling again by Weslaco. I see number 35. I see Sabino Reno. I see Dominic Elmore getting up. 35 is Michael Thompson. So Thompson, Elmore, and Reyna on the stop.
Flores will stay in on the game here, Terry, and he seems to be the one that Coach Liata is more comfortable with running this offense. And actually, if you look at Flores, he's running more the conventional offense, not from the shotgun, but down from under center, and they have a little bit more success against the Panthers that way.
All right, second down at about 7 or 8 yards to go. Man in motion. They fake, another fake, back to pass, throws it out wide, and boy, he didn't have a chance because the Panthers were all over him. If he turns his jersey, I believe that's 35 again. That might be Michael Thompson, or is that, yep, that's who it is.
Well, Jacob Rivera, number 25, was
25,
also,
maybe that's who it was.
He was also in there. He's a junior at 6 foot tall, but he was able to get back into the backfield and just put a little pressure on Flores. And Flores had to get rid of that ball. I mean, when you got that white jersey all over you, don't want to take a sack right here because, you know, that just moves you further and further back. But he throws the ball out there, dangerous pass, but he had to get rid of it.
Well, it looked like he was trying to set up some kind of a play, Carlos, and his players got intertangled a little bit, and that cost him some time, and that gave like a safety blitz that time. Out of a shotgun this time, rolling to the left and throwing. Well, he's a right-hander. He just lofts it up there and out of bounds. And once again, he just that was an ill-advised pass, as you might say.
Yeah, once again, and the penetration coming a little bit late on that time, but just trying to get rid of the ball, looking for the play to develop. And one of the things that happens, Terry, is when you roll out to the left-hand side or any side of the field, it really cuts off your options. Instead of just going back in the middle and laying back and using the entire field, when you roll out, it really helps the advantage. It works to the advantage of the defense. You only have 1 or 2 players you can throw to. They were covered, so we had to throw it away.
All right, this is going to be a 28-yard field goal attempt by the Harlingen South kicker. Good snap back. Here comes a rush on. I think he kind of squibbed it. I don't think he made it. Nope. Good. It might have even been partially blocked, Carlos, but another great defensive stand by the Weslaco Panther defense. Just awesome.
Yeah, and just good play calling also by the defensive coordinator to you know, send in the blitz, you know, shoot the gaps, get into the backfield, disrupt things, you know, differently throughout the series. As you notice, they didn't blitz every single play, but when they did, they were certainly effective and able to keep the Harlingen South Hawks off balance.
All right, Weslaco with 2:54 to go. I see no timeouts on the clock. 2:54 to halftime. And maybe trying to get another 7 points on the board before we go to intermission. Cervantes, he's got the ball behind his blockers again, tries to cut up. This time, though, they got him at about the 22-yard line. R.C. Cervantes going in motion and getting the football. Maybe got 1 or 2 at the most.
It looks like Cervantes maybe had a little bit of green grass over there on the right-hand side, but he decides to cut it up. Of course, he saw something that we didn't. But maybe he takes it to the outside, has a little bit more room to work with, uses his speed to get out there. Instead, he tries to cut it up, but that's where the South Hawks were.
Well, they bring John Rojas, and they also bring in the 2 big backs. Ryan Flores and Ralph Garcia come out of the ball game. So they got a little faster unit there. Cervantes again in motion. The inside handoff, this time to Rojas, and he gets spinning up to about the 26-yard line. Nice little play that time by John. And picks up a couple more yards.
Yeah, you got to be happy if you're Coach Villarreal because you're not getting the big, you know, 5-10-yard runs, but you're getting, you know, 3- and 4-yard runs. And here we are, third down and about 3-4 yards to go. So 2 little runs right there. Didn't look like, you know, they got many yards, but enough so that you set up a good play. Look, it's 3rd and 3. So now you got a chance here to get a first down and keep the ball moving, keep the clock rolling as well.
1:45 to go in the half, but this doesn't bother the Weslaco offense because they score in a hurry. Oh, nice little inside handoff to Ralph Garcia. He didn't quite make it, but he kind of, you know, everybody's looking for the second man, third man through. He went with the first man that time.
Yeah, that's this offense. It can be dangerous because you spread the ball around so many times. You go to the outside, you go to the inside, and sometimes when they're running to the outside, they're setting up that inside game. So it's very hard if you're a defensive coordinator to scheme against this Weslaco Panther offensive attack.
Well, 4th down and 2, Weslaco is going to have to punt. Remember, the only punt they had in this ball game was blocked, but Harlingen South has just called their final timeout, maybe to set up a return or set up their offense for that final push of a minute and a half. But the special teams for Weslaco tonight have given up some big returns.
Yeah, and I'm sure the coaches down there are talking to them and making sure that the coverage is there and they get down the field quickly and get rid of their tacklers and don't relax right here, because just because you're up 21-7, things can change quickly.
Oh yeah, and a lot of times that last minute and a half, 2 minutes of a half can make a big difference in the ball game, especially momentum going into the locker room. Both the bands are getting warmed up. The first time we're going to have a chance to see the Panther Corps this year. So I still see who the punter is. For 2, that's Boca Negro. All right, they're setting up some kind of a protection for him. Good snap this time. Well, he didn't get much. He got rid of it in a hurry as the blocker or the team was coming through. And once again, Harlingen South, with no return, are going to get the ball inside of Panther territory. Boy, I don't know if he's standing closer, Carlos, on the punt, but he didn't have much time to kick that one either.
Yeah, just a lot of penetration. The South Hawks looked like they were going after that one, and tough time kicking that ball. And then, of course, he got a lot of height on that one.
But he got rid of it in a hurry. Didn't really take that full swing of, leg swing, and he did get rid of it, though. 46-yard line, Harlingen South will start this drive in Weslaco territory. They've been in Weslaco territory most of the night, but only have 7 points on the board. Now the runner that's going off, well, they're setting up their offense here. Let's see who the quarterback is. Might be Remiga, I'm not sure. Yeah, it is. And Remiga gets a pass caught out at the 40-yard line.
Critical that the play will continue to roll right here. At least the clock will continue to roll. It didn't get out of bounds on the play.
Shaylin Villarreal was the receiver, but you're right. He did not officially get out of bounds, and the clock just keeps moving here. Getting down near the minute mark. Remiga is back in as the quarterback. He's going to throw. Lofts it up here. And here comes the Panther defense all over the receiver at about the 32, 33-yard line. But, they're going to have to get something down the field, because at this pace, they don't really have enough time.
Yeah, there's about a minute now left in the first half, Terry. They do get the clock stopped for the first down, and that's about it.
Yeah, because, you're right. Those are almost like running plays. And missed a tackle and out of bounds, I believe, over on the far side. Nope, I think the clock is still going.
They call it. Now, first they said continue to roll, and then he said go ahead and stop it. So he got out of bounds. But so far, the South Hawks, they've run the same play 3 times, just a quick hit to the outside.
All right, here we try this again, 1st and 10. They got this time the ball is overthrown. That actually it might be a break for them, because it gives them some time to think about it. Now they can actually go back and get in the huddle.
Yeah, this is one of those plays, though, where they set you up. They go to the outside, then they fake the outside pass and run a post on you, or a give and go, or not a give and go, but a stop and go type of play.
All right, we have 2nd down and 10, only 42.7 seconds to go to halftime.
Give and go is basketball.
Okay. Both teams without any timeouts. They've all been used up. And the quarterback is sacked. What a play by the Weslaco defense that time.
You don't run that play.
But one of the players that made the sack is hurt. I believe that's Thompson, 35. He's very slow getting up. So Weslaco is going to get a break here, but this is not good.
With the clock running down like that, it's kind of hard to understand why you want to run a play like that, because if there is a sack, you lose a lot of time, good 10 to 15 seconds, and that's what happened on the play. The only reason why the clock stops now is because of an injury.
Right. And boy, this is not what any coach wants your first game, to have a couple of key injuries. But we're down to 29.4, and what a rush by the Panthers that time, gambled and got the sack.
Yeah, already you have number 50 who's down on the field with some crutches right now. That is the nose tackle for the Weslaco Panthers, Derek Lopez, and now someone else coming off a little shaky. Yeah. Or at least on the ground shaky.
Well, this one's getting up. Is that Thompson, or is that Eric? Who is that? Is that Eric Hernandez, 29? Oh, he's running off. Nope, that's 25. That is Jacob Rivera. But that's good sign, Carlos, to see him running off the field. He might have just got his bell ring. All right, here we go. The clock is moving now. after everybody's back in play. Man in motion for Harlingen South. And we got all kinds of movement before the snap. And this is all coming back here. Remiga, the quarterback, he alternates with Zach Plutas. That sounded like a little southern drawl to you there. All right, here we go. I think when they line up, the clock keeps going. It is. Remiga again. Now he's rolling right. He's a lefty, remember. Oh, they missed a tackle. Whoa, my goodness. They had the receiver right when he caught it, and he slipped underneath it. He did get out of bounds, but there's only 10 seconds to go. The ball is down about the 10-yard line. 8-yard line. First and goal from the 8.
It's a nice catch there. I was watching the replay from the scoreboard. Just a great catch by the receiver to hold on to that ball because it was to the outside of him. He was able to bring it in with one hand.
Yeah, and he slipped a tackle. That's what made it. Probably picked up an extra 10 yards after that. But not too much time left here. 10 seconds exactly. Remigan sends a man in motion this time. Another movement, but nothing called. Remigan's still looking. Now he's going to cut up the field. And let's see if they're going to bring him short. Did he get in? I'm not sure. Well, they mentioned touchdown. They say he got in. Remiga ran it in for a score. And with 3.5 seconds to go to halftime, Harlingen South, a big play here after that very, very short punt by Weslaco.
Yeah, and he gambled on that play, Terry, and he gambled correctly because he had to get in there. If not, the clock runs out on him with no timeouts and possibly no first down either. He had to get into the end zone. If not, the game ends right there at the 1-yard line. Or not ends, but the half ends.
Well, he must have, there's all kinds of movement here. The ball is blocked, but somebody was offsides, I believe. It might have been Weslaco, hard to say, but there was definitely a penalty on that play. It would be a break if it's against Harlingen South because the kick was blocked. But I got a feeling they're going to move it in half the distance to the goal. But a tough finish here for Weslaco. They were looking to go into halftime 21-7, and they're going to go in at least 21-13, possibly 21-14. They will get the ball to start the second half, though. Movement again, and they block it again. Another penalty.
Live ball.
Well, it's Weslaco trying to run it back for that 2-point conversion. We've seen that before, but this might be against Weslaco again. I guess you might say a typical first game. Turnovers, some penalties, and some good points. So the defense, to me, for the most part, has looked very good out there. And the offense has shown some brilliance as well.
Yeah, now it looks like the Hawks, Terry, are going to go for 2.
Yeah, they got it almost on the goal line.
They got it on the goal line, and this is one of those plays where you run it behind one of your big boys and pick up the 2 points.
I would probably Drewley, number 21, might be carrying the ball. He is their biggest back they've got. Here comes a guy late into the huddle. But you're right, Remiga. They're going to pitch it. Oh, I don't think he made it. I do not think he made it. No, he didn't. Great pursuit by the Weslaco defense, and that is going to be no good as they try to go in from maybe a yard out. Give credit to that Weslaco defense again. Wow, that might be a big point at the end of the ball game. You never know. So we've got 3.5 seconds to go to halftime. My guess is Harlingen South is probably going to squib kick it, onside kick it, just to eat up the time because any one of the boys for Weslaco, Rojas or Cervantes, have got the capability of running it back all the way.
Yeah, and I don't know if Gabriel Leal is glad that they're only down by a touchdown or frustrated that they could have had several more scores because they had the ball inside the 5-yard line a couple of times and inside the 20-yard line at least 3 times in this football game and weren't able to come up with anything. You got to give credit to the defense of the Weslaco Panthers for that.
Weslaco only has 1 man deep, everybody else up, but basically if you kick it low, get 10 yards, it's going to take 3.5 seconds by the time you undo the pile, and that will take it to halftime. But that was a big play on that extra point attempt to stop once again, the pursuit to take the runner down. I thought maybe, like you said, they would just take one of them big boys and go up the middle, but they try to get to the outside, and that's always dangerous. All right, we're going to kick the ball off here into the middle of the field. Picked up, dropped, picked up again. Ralph Garcia, I believe, has got it. and he's going to get nothing. We're going to go to halftime. The score here at Bogus Stadium, Weslaco 21, Harlingen South 13.
Personal foul? Inactive activities on a glorious day. Huh? Let's get out there and play!
Sweet.
Ooh, freeze!
When do I get to be in? Uh-oh.
Hey, Reggie, frozen people can't talk.
PLA!
An hour a day.
I'm in. There are lots of great play ideas online, but don't stay too long.
Again, Zach Flores is the quarterback, number 10. He's going to send a man in motion. He's going to roll it. Oh! Oh, hello!
We are not from the north side.
We are not from the south side.
And we're not from the east side.
Inside handoff, 30-yard line, 35 to the corner to the 40. He might go 45-yard line to the end zone, touchdown.
We are Weslaco.
Welcome back to Bogus Stadium. Terry Beitler along with Carlos Robledo at halftime. The score, Weslaco 21, Harlingen South 13, as both teams come back on the field after the 30-minute halftime by both of the bands. And Carlos, interesting first half. I guess lots of turnovers, but then I was impressed. Probably number one thing in my mind was the defense of the Panthers in the first half.
Yeah, that's what stands out. First of all, you know, talking to some of the fans up here, because we're in the stands with this crowd up here, and they were talking about the turnovers, about the turnovers and how that being a problem, and you know, being a little rusty and all that. But then the second thing they talked about is like, hey, the defense looks really good, and they have done a good job throughout this game. With so many times the South Hawks were in that red zone, only coming up with a couple of touchdowns. And we do have a good football game here, even though Weslaco has dominated. But the Harlingen South Hawks have stayed close, and they're only down by what, 8 points?
Yeah, they scored right there in the last 3.5 seconds of the first half. But to me, it was field position. Weslaco never had the ball, I don't think, beyond the 20-yard line in the first half on a turnover or anything like that. So they had bad field position. And Harlingen South, on the other hand, it seemed like they were always in Weslaco territory.
Yeah, and Harlingen South, they look, you know, it's hard to tell if this is their second game of the season, because they've been really rusty. You know, not only have they had all those turnovers, but penalties, and even their quarterback at times, not Flores, and their other quarterback not looking sharp throwing the ball.
Yeah, well, here we go. Start the second half. Kickoff to the Panthers. Into the middle of the field. They're going to pick it up at about the 15-yard line behind some blockers. Cutting back up to the middle of the field. Now trying to get to the outside. 25, 30, and maybe the 30-yard line is the Panther run back. Looks like Arce Cervantes. Or is it somebody else? Rojas. It was John Rojas. But he got up to the 30, and let's see what this offense can do. The offense tonight has scored all three, well, actually 2 out of 3 on big plays, almost a third play. Remember that pass to Joe DeLeon where they got it down to the 1-yard line. But other than that, it's been big plays for the Weslaco Panthers tonight. Has not been a grinded out attack at all. Randy Lopez, the quarterback, hands off to Cervantes, trying to get wide, cuts back, and he's going to go down for a loss of about 3 or 4 yards at the 26-yard line.
I'm sure Harlingen South made their adjustments, you know, playing for a game and a half now, so the kids out there have a little bit more experience, and I'm sure Coach Leal talked to them and tried to motivate them to just to do a little bit more, maybe play a little bit more aggressive. This is their, you know, playing here at home in their home crowd. They want to have a better showing than what they've had so far in this game.
Well, after a couple of games, you kind of get a better feel for what kind of team you're going to have. First game doesn't always tell the story. Coming wide again, cutting back against the grain. Cervantes still spinning. Got maybe back to the original line of scrimmage around the 30-yard line, as he's down by one of the big linemen there, number 99. But I'm not sure what this is setting up, Carlos. A couple of running plays to RC. Might be setting up a pass.
Yeah, and they've been successful with that passing play. They haven't passed much, you know, maybe 4 or 5 times here tonight, but each time they've moved the ball well, and Randy Lopez, the quarterback, has been on target, whether it's throwing down the field to Joe number 4, Joe De Leon, or to R.C. Cervantes, he's done a good job here tonight, passing the ball.
All right, they're going to work out of a shotgun this time. Randy Lopez. He's got 2 receivers to both sides of the field, so definitely a passing down. And the clock has run out on him. We've seen that about 5 times tonight where the clock has run out. Is that a fast 25-second clock or what? The very first play, remember the game started on a penalty where the Panthers didn't even kick off in time. But here we go, 3rd down and 15 now. They might be run the same play. Gonna have lots of time this time. Lopez looking up the field. Had a pretty good time in the first half to throw. Drop back, over the middle, tipped and intercepted on the first pass of the second half, and down they go inside the 30-yard line, but another turnover for the Panther offense here. On the very first play, he set it up and the ball was tipped and picked off by a Hawk defender.
Yeah, plenty of time for Lopez out there to get the ball to his receiver, but that time just threw into double coverage as Lopez, plenty of time, not a lot of pressure, just throws it up there. It's tipped by one of the defenders and into the hands of the other defender who makes the interception. And now here we go again with South Hawks in great field position.
On the 24-yard line. Have to check to see who the quarterback is. If it's the right-hander, it's Flores. If it's the left-hander, it's Remiga. They're going to hand off to Drewley, though, and he's wide open up the middle inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. They started the first half with a run by this big guy. But I'll tell you, the Panther defense has been on the field a lot. Time of possession definitely in the favor of the Hawks tonight.
Yeah, and almost a fumble on that play right there. Almost mishandled the football. He's holding the ball up in his shoulders, and one big hit, and that ball jars loose.
Big number 90, Montiel, comes off the field. 2nd down and about maybe a half a yard to go after that first play. They're going to hand off again, and Drewley's cutting back, and right now inside the 10-yard line to about the 6 or 7 as I look at the side judge. But boy, I'll tell you what.
And the Hawks have made their adjustments, Terry.
Yeah, they sure have.
Last couple of times they've had the ball, they scored the last time they had the ball offensively, putting the ball in the end zone. You know, it was a short little drive, about a 30-yard drive, and now here you go again, a short field to work with, and they've run the ball twice up the middle and already a first down.
That's at least the 3rd or 4th turnover for Weslaco tonight, if you count the block punt, and this time they got the ball on the Panther 24-yard line, so not much field that they've had to work with. And high snap, Drewley right up the middle into the end zone, touchdown. And they're going to a running game, it looks like, more than they are a passing game. And Harlingen South is back within 2. They're 21-19. I would imagine they're going to go for 2 here.
Yeah, 3 runs right up the middle. They go in for the score, and you know, just giving the ball up the middle, run, draw plays, and they get the score.
21-19 with 9. It only took them about 2 minutes and 23 seconds, and that was after a turnover. Weslaco ran 2 plays, and the 3rd play threw an interception, and Harlingen South turned around. They ran 3 plays, as Carlos said, right up the middle, and they are back within a couple of points. They're going to go for 2. It's the Flores, the quarterback, tipped in the air, and once that ball is tipped, I don't think you can have pass interference. And that's what happened. That's the 2nd time tonight that Weslaco has been able to stall them on a point after touchdown. And the score right now, 21-19, and Weslaco is going to have to go back to the drawing board.
Well, just a tough play for them, you know, on the tip pass and the interception, but you got to give credit to Harlingen South also to come up with the interception and then capitalize after that, because, you know, plenty of times they've had the ball inside the 20-yard line, weren't able to put points on the board in this football game, but this time they do, to cut the score down to a 2-point game.
Well, the first game is always an adjustment. You gotta, you know, the defense has done a great job tonight, Carlos, but most of the points that Harlingen South has scored has been a result of turning back turnovers, so they've really been scoring almost on the offense as well. If you turn it over enough, the other team's gonna put a few points on the board. So we basically got a pretty even ball game for the last, the second half of this thing. And one more time, wants to go back to receive. This is kind of a pooch to the corner here. I think it might even be going out of bounds. It is, and that'll give Weslaco actually the ball in the 30 or 35-yard line if they so to take it. That would be their best field position starting all night long. And that's really been another story of the ball game tonight, is field position for both of these teams. Well, I don't know. It looks like they're going to re-kick the ball. That's up to the offense on that, but Weslaco does have some weapons back there as far as running the ball back. I see John Rojas, R.C. Cervantes on the far side. I'm not sure who that is in the middle.
Yellow Jackets 3, Cardinals 28.
I mean, some of the scores. We didn't hear many scores at halftime tonight.
Well, that was a Harlingen score.
Right, yeah.
28-3 over Ed Couch-Elson in the third quarter.
Big battle going on there. Ed Couch-Elson, a major rebuilding program as well. Eric Nino not around this year. Or Tanguma. All right, let's try it again here. This one more into the middle. Pick Cervantes on the return. He's still on it, but there's going to be a flag. This one may be coming back. I see a flag at the 30-yard line, so they're not going to get the ball beyond the 30. It's going to go back some. Another field possession thing. Boy, this is just tough on the starting point, you know. It makes it more pressure on the offense, more pressure on the defense. Sounds like the microphone is shorting out a little bit here on the officials. He is mic'd for sound, but he's been cutting out some. Well, 9:31 to go here. We're just underway here in the second half. Randy Lopez is going to come out and take over the helms. He's number 10. Panthers looking for some kind of an offense. Other than the big play, they really haven't sustained any kind of a drive here tonight. Everything has been on the big score. Cervantes behind his blockers, trying to get to the wide. 20, out of bounds at about the, well, let's see where they mark it. Between the 25 and the 30. R.C. Cervantes coming to the near side. We got another Panther injured on the play. We got a beautiful night for football, Carlos. This has been, first week in September, and the weather is outstanding.
Yeah, usually at this time of the year it's a little too hot, but it hasn't been too bad. It's still, it's a little humid out here, a little sticky, but also one of the things we see at this time of the year, a lot of bugs.
Yeah.
But haven't had a lot of rain lately. We're kind of in the middle of a drought here, but usually a lot of bugs. Not a lot of bugs. It's not a bad night at all, but we are seeing a lot of injuries. Can't really blame the weather for that, though.
Could be cramps. We did get one good rain about 3 days ago. It was nice. It was the first rain we've seen in a long, long time.
And the field looks good here. This is a totally grass field here at Harlingen, and it looks really, really nice. You know, I'm sure by the end of the year it'll be a little torn up, but so far it looks very good. Nice and green field out there. They've done a good job. The Harlingen Independent School District have taken care of it. The facilities, Bogus Stadium is very, very nice. So, pleasant experience so far for us here.
Yeah, they take care of this stadium real good.
A lot of interesting games have taken place here. I remember Harlingen and Judson in the 80s playing here at Bogus Stadium, and Harlingen winning that game back in the days when Johnny Jackson was playing for the Cardinals. So a lot of interesting games, historic games have been played here at Bogus Stadium.
That is not good. The quarterback is coming off the field, I believe. That's number 10, Randy Lopez. So I have no idea who the backup quarterback is. They say who is that? We'll figure it out here in a second.
It's still Randy.
Is it? I thought I saw him walking out the field. John Rojas to the 30, trying to get wide. And he's going to be close to the first down.
Lopez is still in the game.
Yeah, he is.
Coming out of the game is 16, Omar Pena. Yeah. And 16, the 6 kind of looked like a 0.
Okay. Yeah, and Omar Pena is a veteran. He's a letterman from last year.
First down.
Yeah, we'll take it.
And that's good, yeah, because the last series it was a 3-and-out, or at least an interception, and they weren't really getting much done offensively. But here you go, you get a first down, so 3 good plays and you get a first.
Inside handoff again. Breaking back against the grain, maybe 2 or 3 yards up to about the 37-yard line. Ralph Garcia, the ball carrier. And you're right, Carlos. The team needs to be able to establish that running game on a consistent basis where they can drive it up the field if they have to. I know they've got big play capability because they've got some burners out there, but like you said, from that track team. But you also have the capability of getting 4 yards in a cloud of dust too. All right, Larry Cardenas, the center, breaks him out. Probably an all-district lineman. He's just a junior though. pitch out to Cervantes. He's got big Ryan Flores out in front of him, cuts back against the grain. He is going to have the first down, but big Ryan Flores, number 40, leading the blocking on that particular play.
And Harlingen South doing a better job on their pursuit and denying the big play, but still Weslaco commanding that line of scrimmage, doing a good job. The white jerseys taking over those orange jerseys, and they're able to get those 5-7 yard gains. Not the big play being given up by Harlingen South, but still the line of scrimmage being controlled by the offensive line.
Flores and Ralph Garcia, the two big running backs, coming out. And they've got a different lineup, a little different look in there. Cervantes will probably go in motion, and he does. Nope, they go inside handoff to Rojas. And he's fighting the tacklers off, gets up to about the 47-yard line. Might have picked up 3 or 4 yards on the play. John Rojas on the counter.
Even on that play right there, it looked like Lopez and Rojas there bumped in the backfield. It looked like he had some orange jerseys, some penetration by Harlingen South, but the offensive line, they keep moving, they keep pumping their feet, blocking downfield or blocking that line of scrimmage, and they're still able to pick up a good 3 yards in that play.
Scoreboard said he got 3. I see the line of scrimmage at about the 47-yard line, right down in front of us. As they break the huddle, 9 seconds on the play clock. Randy Lopez brings him to the line. He fakes, he's going to throw, he wants to throw. Big rush put on. Lopez now, he's going to take off the 50. And down he goes, and he's going to be real close, Carlos, to a first down.
Nice job by Lopez, Terry.
Yes.
And that play was designed to go in the other direction. But there was a lot of penetration, a lot of orange jerseys in the backfield, so he takes off wherever he can go, wherever he sees green grass and some daylight. So he takes off to the left-hand side instead of the right, and because of his speed, because of the wheels and his wheels, I should say, and his will, he's able to get the first down.
Menchaca on the stop for the Hawks is Tony Villarreal down there. He's urging him on here. Inside handoff to the big guy up inside the 45 to about the 43-yard line. Ralph Garcia, number 32, the big fullback.
Yeah, you got to hold on to that ball, Mr. Garcia. You know, he's carrying that ball there. He's a senior at 5'5" and 160. Looked like he was holding a little bit away from the body there. Need to tuck that ball away. As soon as you hit that hole, put that ball away because they're going to be going after that ball.
He's a big looking 150 though. I mean, they've got him in the program at 150, but he's a pretty stout looking running back. Second down at about 8. Fake handoff. No, it's Cervantes. 45, trying to get to the corner. He does the 40. Down near the 35. He's going to be close to another first down. We were just talking about a sustained drive, and that's exactly what's going on right now.
Yeah, it's been an offense over the past few years of explosive plays, left, right, and through the middle. And even in this game, they've even had some big plays throwing it through the air. But on this drive right here, this is something you really like to see if you're a head football coach. You love the big plays, but even more so you love your ball control offense, and that's what you're seeing right here, methodically, slowly but surely, getting first downs, moving the ball down the field, controlling that clock. You keep the offense on the field, or their offense on the field, your team keeps moving the ball down the field.
Pitch out, coming wide. Is that Cervantes again? 35, got a break down to the 20-yard line. Nice block out there. Coming around the corner, and that sprung him for another extra few yards. I don't know if that was number 11, Joseph Martinez with a block, but he cut it right here at the corner. I think it was Martinez.
It's Cervantes to the left, Cervantes to the right, and that's what you're seeing by this football team, and we've seen it in years past, whether it's Mishak or it's someone else, you know, Michael Blackman. He's doing what he has to do. He's getting the blocking, and he's moving the chains, getting first downs and controlling that clock.
All right, here we go. First down and 10 again. Another inside move. Maybe 3 or 4 yards up inside the 20 to about the 16-yard line, and I got to believe that Cervantes has got 100 yards tonight. I know Rojas does.
You know, if anything, he's got to be a little tired in this football game. I know that he's in great shape, you know, being a track star and an athlete out there, but he's run the ball quite some times. They're going to give him a little bit of a break right here because he's been running the ball quite a few times in this football game.
Rojas goes back in. Ralph Garcia was the last ball carrier. He seems to get about every third carry, Ralph Garcia does. But Rojas is in, and he's going to be in the slot on the right side. He's going to come around. He's got a good block. Still going at 10. Breaks a tackle. 5. Touchdown, John Rojas. About a 16-yard scamper. He got a good block, but he did a lot of that on his own.
Yeah, give the assist to Lowell RC for doing also a lot on this drive here as he was getting the ball up and down the field, but Rojas able to come in towards the end and seal the deal. And it's just good teamwork by this offensive line, by this Panther offense. It was just a nice methodical drive. They started way deep in their own territory, go down the field, put points on the board, and they answer. The Hawks score.
I don't think they passed that entire drive. That was just good running. You're right. R.C. Cervantes, John Rojas, Ralph Garcia, and you know, some good play calling. They did it clean, no penalties. Did a nice drive.
Good solid drive there for the Weslaco Panthers. That's what you like to see. You also take a lot of time off the clock. Ball control offense, time management. You keep the South offense off the field, and you put points on the board.
Well, I think what they're going to, well, I'm not sure what they're going to do here. They're calling Ralph Garcia back out there. I don't know if they're going to go for 2 or 1, because with an 8-point margin, if they kick the extra point, that makes it a 9, and it makes it a two-score ball game, you know, for Harlingen South.
Well, I think we may have missed something here as South call the timeout, Terry.
Is that them that call it?
I think that's what the delay is so far right here.
Well, let's see. But they take the timeout off of Weslaco, but you never know. It's hard to see here. Looks like Boca Negra is going to set up for a conventional PAT here. Cervantes, again, is the holder on this play. You got good hands out there. The good hands people. Here's the snapback. And the kick is up, and it is good. So 5:40 to go. Weslaco answers a touchdown for touchdown, and they've gone back up 28-19. I think of holders in the NFL. I think of Coy Detmer, who used to play quarterback for Mission. He held for years for the Philadelphia Eagles. He's out of football. I'm not sure what he's doing. Probably like his dad. He's probably into coaching.
Yeah, I think the Detmers have had their run in the NFL, a long run in the NFL for those guys. But good job by the Weslaco Panthers out here, and it looks like their backs were against the wall a little bit there as Harlingen South was threatening, and they were only down by a couple of points there. But the Weslaco Panthers facing a little bit of adversity here in a non-district game in hostile territory, and they answer it with a nice little drive. That's what you want to see if you're a Weslaco Panther fan and if you're a Weslaco Panther coach.
All right, we're going to kick it off as Jesus Bocanegra is going to kick. And this is a big, we talked about this more than once tonight, big play. I believe last time, Carlos, didn't they kick it in the middle of the field and was able to slow the special team down a little bit? Let's see if they're doing it again. I know some teams do that a lot. They do it again. Kind of a script kick down there, down about the 15-yard line, picked up there. And overrunning the runner, but he's near the sideline. Big play that time by number 35. That is Michael Thompson on the special plays. They hold him inside about the 25-yard line.
One thing I've noticed about this Weslaco Panthers football team, whether it's special teams, defense, or offense, they have a lot of team speed.
Yeah.
You know, they don't have the breakout guy that can just take off and run the 4.3 40, but they got a lot of guys who can run a really good 40. A lot of team speed, and that's what happened on that special teams right there. They squib kick it down the middle. The runner has a hard time handling the ball. Before you know it, the Panthers are all over it.
All right, let's see what's going to go on here. I believe we got Zach Flores now the quarterback. Yep, the right-hander, and he throws it on the ground and almost looked like a lateral. You know, there's another running back in the stable, so to speak, that isn't playing tonight. He's dressed, but he's unavailable, and that's Burciaga, who played big time last year. And when he comes back, that's just going to give him one more dimension that other teams are going to have to take a look at.
Yeah, and he's one of those guys that's just an all-star athlete.
Yep.
You know, great on the baseball team. We saw him during the playoff run against PSJA, just tearing it up. He was all-valley outfielder for the Weslaco Panther baseball team, and he's also excellent in football.
All right, snap back. Now this is, almost intercepted. That's the other quarterback, Remiga. They had Flores in the last play. They got Remiga in, and he almost threw it into the hands of Jacob Rivera.
Yeah, wow. Jacob right there. I mean, he just turns around to check out the offense, see where it's going. The ball's right there in his hip pocket.
Look what I found. Huh?
Oh, my goodness. He just gets that one, turns around, he could score.
Yeah, he was only, what, about the 30-yard line, 25-yard line, where Remiga hit him right in the hands with it. All right, we'll go again here. 3rd down and 10 for the Weslaco defense. Let's see if they can hold him here. Remiga rolling to his left. He's a lefty. Still looking to throw. He throws up the field. He's got a receiver out there. And there's going to be a pass interference call. The defensive back was running with his back to the ball and just kind of threw his hands up. And there's some.
Hit him in the back.
Yep.
It hit him in the back, but it's a little bit short. Kind of a tough call right there because it was short. There was no way the receiver was going to be able to make the catch.
Yeah. Boy, that hurts because we had them back 3rd and on their own, and that would have been the first time tonight we could have force them to punt deep in their own territory. But I think they're going to have to go back to the line of scrimmage and run it from there. We saw that last week in a game between Weslaco East and Hidalgo where there was a long pass interference and they had to bring it all the way back.
Yeah, it's the 15-yard penalty.
Yeah,
so.
from the line of scrimmage. All right, well, we'll go over again here. It's first down and 10 from the 40-yard line. 5:18 to go here in the third quarter. High snap, inside handoff to Drewley, and this time Weslaco comes up at about the 48-yard line, but the big guy, number 21, the running game for Harlingen South has been much improved here in the second half.
Yeah, they've made their adjustments, they've made their calls. It really been, and you don't like to see this, is coming off the field as Rivera, but running the ball right up the middle. Those are the plays that they use to get that last touchdown, and that's been the most successful running play for the Harlingen South Hawks, just taking it up the middle, taking it to the Panthers.
Yeah, and I noticed Omar Pena, who's normally one of the defensive starters, is also on the bench, but he's kind of walking around a little stiff-legged, but that's going to cost Harlingen South 5. And with second down and 2, that changes the play call. Now it's second down and 7. I was going to ask you, do you get any coaching secrets at halftime from Coach Chavez? Or?
No, he was just saying that he's here scouting Harlingen South and Weslaco.
Right.
Well, of course, Weslaco's in the same district, but next week they play Harlingen South.
All right.
They played La Jolla last week. I think they lost.
Last night?
Last night.
Last night, yeah. Well, Tom Chavez, one of the real veterans of coaching in this entire valley.
Been around for a while.
Yep, a long time. Second down and about 8. Remiga, the lefty, off the field, and this, I don't know if they can go get it or not. Nope.
That's probably the best play is to overthrow him because he was well covered on that play. The Weslaco defender, number 24 for Weslaco, Sabino Reina, another trackster on this football team. He had his man well covered. So, yeah, you better overthrow that one or that's an interception going the other way.
Well, I noticed that Remiga probably has a stronger arm than Flores, but Flores seems to run the offense a little better.
Yeah.
And that's at least that's my observation so far, that Remiga has a little stronger arm, the lefty, but he's been overthrowing quite a bit. And
might be one of those experience things.
Yeah, they're young. They are young.
Flores might be a little younger, so they use him in spot places.
Third down and about 7 or 8. Remiga rolling to his left. Now he steps up in the pocket, and he overthrows his receiver again. Now it's going to bring up fourth down. Harlingen South has only punted once tonight, and we roughed the kicker, and that's been it all night long. Other than that, it's been turnovers.
Yeah, Coach Leal is new. He's new to Harlingen. He's new to Harlingen South, I should say, and so he's probably trying to just see who his quarterback is going to be. Maybe make it a little competition during this non-district few games that they have, and then once the district rolls around, he goes with the person that he feels most comfortable with, whether it's Remiga or Flores.
Where is he originally from?
Coach Leal actually played for Harlingen Cardinals.
Oh, he did?
I believe he was a
So
quarterback.
he's a Harlingen grad.
He's a Harlingen grad, yes.
All right. Well, actually, the punt situation here. Oh, the snap a little bit off, but nobody near it. Not a real strong punt.
Off the head, that's a fumble.
All right, who's got it? Harlingen South. What a tough break for Weslaco.
Yeah.
Twice on punts, and you're taught to keep your eye on the ball all the time.
Yeah, that's a tough play because you're hustling down the field. You don't know where it's at, but that's where the receiver or the return man, that's his duty to say, get away from the ball, or ball, and you're running down the field. You get out of the way. Hopefully the ball doesn't touch you. But that time, right off the head of one of the Panthers, and Harlingen South once again, great field position.
Well, we've had a season's worth of turnovers in this game already.
It's at least 6 or 7 going already.
Let's get them out of the way tonight, I guess.
Yeah.
All right. Flores is back in at quarterback. He pitches out. They're going to be running right up the middle, and into the pile goes one of the Weslaco tacklers, but not before he picked up 5 or 6 yards.
And as this game starts to go along, Terry, usually in these first few games of the season, it's the latter third quarter and fourth quarter where the game gets a little bit more sloppy because you're just a little bit more tired also. You kind of lose your concentration, you lose your focus when you're more tired. So who knows what's going to happen during the fourth quarter. We've already had 7 turnovers. Who knows what more can happen in the fourth.
Second down at about 5. Flores out of the shotgun this time. And something is called. I'm not sure. I think they might have called a timeout. Yeah, if they did. That's their first of the second half. So there was still plenty of time on the play clock, but a timeout on the field with the score: Weslaco 28, Harlingen South 19.
I love my job as an electrical engineer for Raytheon Corporation. one of the world's most admired suppliers of defense and aerospace systems. I'm proud to be part of a team that designs an advanced airborne surveillance radar for the U.S. government. I'm able to do this because of the outstanding education I received at UT Pan American. I believe UTPA's engineering department ranks among the best in the country and played a large role in what I do today. UTPA made a difference in my life. It can make a difference in yours.
I noticed that the next game, Carlos, are showing up on the scoreboard as next week at Sam Stadium against the Brownsville Hannah for Harlingen South. Well, here we go. Flota's under center. Fake, delayed, and they almost had Flotas in the backfield. He got it off to Drewley. He took it down to, I'm going to guess, around the 20. It's going to still be short of a first down, but it's been the running game of Harlingen South here and the running game of the Panthers in the second half. There has not been a lot of passing. So one of the Hawk players is down in the field, and their trainers are attending to him.
All in all, it's been an interesting game.
Yeah.
It's been a very entertaining game, you know, despite all the turnovers and it being a little sloppy. And we don't know many of these players. They're coming into their own here tonight, but it's a very competitive game. Harlingen South has come back and try to do their best to get back into this contest, trying to take advantage of turnovers whenever they can and big plays.
I'm looking down in front of us, Carlos. Derek Lopez is obviously out for the game, but I also noticed that Jacob Rivera is on one of the tables as well, and they've taken off the shoes. And let's see what his extent of his injury. I see Omar Pena out there. He's walking around, but he hasn't been put back into the game yet. Here we go, third down and about 2 yards to go. This time I would expect them to go to either Drewley or Martinez behind him. Flotas, though, is the quarterback. Hand off to the second man through. Nope. Yep. And they've got the first down inside the 15, about the 15-yard line. So another 1st and 10 for Harlingen South as they have been able to move the ball here in the second half.
Yeah, they've found their success, and their success is running up the middle. Just run the I formation. Nothing fancy about that. You learn that in junior high football. You know, you either go 40 or 41 base, and that's what they're doing. They're just going up the middle. They've forgotten about the 5 receiver set, and they've just gone the ball up the middle. That's where they've had the most success.
Well, they're bringing Montiel out. He seems to be rotating on defense. He's a big boy in the middle there. And this might be where they missed Lopez in that nose guard position, because they are running right up past the center. Oh, the little stutter. Oh, down he goes. Thought I had saying a fumble. I think Weslaco's got it. I didn't see the fumble, Carlos.
And the officials are talking it over right now.
Okay.
Now they're saying these officials are slow to react.
Yep.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to criticize the officials, but they have been slow to react all game long. They look at each other, trying to make the right call instead of just, you know, making the reaction call. And that was another close one right there. You know, it looked like the ball came loose right before he hit the ground.
Might be their first game.
Well, they've been doing it for many years, though.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not young pups here.
All right, here we go. 2nd down and 10. Almost a fumble that time. Hand off again. Fumble that time. And Weslaco's got it into the pile. And hey, you keep at it long enough, it's gonna that popped loose early. And who's that coming up with the ball? Number 40, is that who it is? I believe so. That would be Ryan Flotas. And he's going right back out there. I'm going to play some offense, he says.
Yeah.
But Ryan Flotas, listed in the program as a linebacker, able to come up with a loose ball, and a big break for the Panther defense again.
Yeah, and are we surprised, though, that Harlingen turns the ball over once again?
At least 6 or 7 for them.
I think this is the 8th turnover in this football game overall, and the majority of those have been for Harlingen South. And a big hand right here for this defense, as a lot of the fans up here cheering on that defense for once again making another stop.
Here we go. Let's see what the running back does. Got some yard, well, bumping around like a pinball machine up to about the 18-yard line. That might be Ralph Garcia, because when he's in the game, so is Ryan Flotas. Maybe a gain of 2, but this is what they did last time. Drove it deep. Remember, again, here's the field position. This is just ridiculous. They're starting the ball inside their 20-yard line again,
but they
all night.
Yeah, but they've shown they have the ability to move the ball down the field. And, you know, Coach Villarreal has very confident. He's got to be very, very pleased, especially in what he's seen in his defense. His offense has always been awesome, year in and year out, one of the top offenses in the state. Now the defense is coming around, too.
Cervantes in motion, inside. No, pitch out to Cervantes. Gets by one guy, another one trying to cut up the field. This guy is shifty, but there is a penalty marker down at about the 22-yard line, and it may be coming back. We'll wait and see here. But now I see 2 more penalty flags on the far side after the play is over. So we got all kinds of flags out there. I see 1 originally, but I see 2 on the far side near the play.
Yeah, the one over here at the line of scrimmage is probably going to be a chop block. Oh.
Now that's going to cost them some big yardage here again, and they're already deep in their own territory. Cervantes is going to come out.
And we really haven't seen, there's been some sloppy play, but really haven't seen, they really haven't seen a lot of penalties, a lot of holding. The offensive line has really done a good job of keeping their hands to themselves, but this one right here really hurts because it puts them way back on the 10-yard line. But as far as penalties are concerned, not a lot for Weslaco in this game.
R.C. Cervantes running around. I don't know if he lost some equipment or what he's doing, but now he's got everything back together, so to speak. But now it's 2nd down, and the scoreboard hasn't even caught up with things yet. I would say 2nd down and probably 16 or 17 yards to go. The line of scrimmage is the 10. They've got to come out here to about the 25 for a 1st down. And maybe a gain of a couple yards up the middle.
Dangerous, very dangerous territory right now for the Panthers because it's 3rd and about 14 yards to go. And this is one of those plays where you want to get a 1st down, but you don't want to force anything either and turn the ball over deep in your own territory.
Right. R.C. Cervantes comes back into the ball game.
And the punting game hasn't actually been, too stellar either. So if Harlingen South can hold, they're going to have the ball in good position here.
Yeah, one punt was blocked and the other punt was not even 20 yards. Ryan Flores comes out, but as the clock runs down, they're coming to the line of scrimmage. They may have to burn a timeout here. We're down to 45 seconds in the quarter. Lopez, the quarterback, rolls, still rolling, still looking up the field. He's got a man in the middle and then picked off. Oh, they tried to throw against the grain. The defender saw it all the way, and another turnover for the Panthers.
No, not a turnover.
Oh, no, what happened there? Did you drop it?
Yeah, he dropped
it. Okay, well, there's a break for us.
Yeah, he dropped it. He had a beat on that ball. The free safety was just playing out there like a center fieldsman, and he just goes after the football, and he just dropped it at the last minute. But, yeah, almost an interception, but still, South should have the ball in good field position.
Well, the line of scrimmage, Carlos, is only the 11, and if he even gets a 40-yard kick, it's only going to go to midfield. Boca Negra is going to actually be back in the end zone on this particular kick. Good snap. Kind of a quick kick up to about the 46-yard line. Run back, cut back against the grain. The Panthers are, well, I think that was probably their best special team coverage all night long. Even though he got about 12 yards on the carry, they secured the tackles real quick.
Yeah, not a bad punt either from deep in your own end zone. It was a pretty good, about a 35-yard punt, so not a bad job right there. South still has the ball in good field position, but it could have been a lot worse.
And what a surprise there. They've had it all night long.
Yeah,
unbelievable.
The defense is going to be tested again.
Well, we're not going to have too many plays left here in this 3rd quarter. We're down to 25 seconds to go in quarter number 3. Weslaco up by a little over a touchdown, 28-19. It's Remiga as a quarterback, and good tackle by Weslaco at the 35-yard line. That time the pass was there. Dominic Elmore, number 13, on the stop for the Panthers out in open field. Good stop by Dominic.
Yeah, and once again, good job by Dominic Elmore. You see the speed once again of the Weslaco Panthers as he was just out there playing one-on-one with his receiver. They throw to him. He goes down on him quickly, and not only does he have the speed, but he could also make the tackle.
All right, that's going to do it. We are at the end of the 3rd quarter, 28-19, Weslaco.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I am an American soldier.
I live the Army values.
I will never accept defeat.
I am the guardian of freedom
and the American way of life.
I am the Army National Guard.
Defend freedom. Visit 1-800-GO-GUARD.com today.
All right, the 4th quarter about ready to get underway. Weslaco and Harlingen South. Harlingen South, 2nd down and about 12 yards to go from the 35-yard line. Remiga is the quarterback. He's the lefty. But the only way I can tell them apart with the numbers. Julie is the running back with him. They're going to throw. Big rush put on over the middle and incomplete. That time, once again, the defender had his back to the receiver, but The pass is just a little bit off.
Yeah, throwing into some traffic once again. He's got 2 receivers out there and had one over here, but he decides once again to make that pass, and once again quickly. Just a little 5-step drop back pass and throws the ball, gets rid of it. He knows that pressure, if he holds on to it too long, will come after him.
Well, here's the Weslaco defense asked again to stop Harlingen South on 3rd down. 3rd down and about 12 yards to go. Trip receivers to this side as Remiga takes the snap. He's rolling to his left, still rolling. Looking up the field, there's a flag on the play. It's incomplete. If the flag is against Harlingen South, it's going to be, I'm sure they're going to decline it and just take the football. But let's see what it's all about here. Man, I don't know why that flag was even thrown out here in this area. Oh, you're kidding me. Oh, you are kidding me. That's only going to be 5 yards, and it's still going to be third and long. But
the South have had some major breaks. That's a big play right here. Of course, every play here in the 4th quarter is going to be very, very close, especially in a game like this. But they have got some major breaks in this football game. And here another one. That would have brought up a 4th down punting situation. But now it's 3rd down, and they get another shot to keep this drive alive.
Yeah, they sure do. Remiga is going to run out of a shotgun this time as they got 3 receivers split out now. He rolls to his left. He threw a, what was that, a Billy Kilmer special there? He had kind of a floating duck. Yeah.
It's a little bit outside, as Bob Eager would say. But
just a little bit outside.
And no pressure, really. I don't know if he's felt some pressure coming from the backside, but actually this offensive line has given the quarterbacks for the Harlingen South Hawks a little bit more time to throw the football out here. One of the things I'm surprised that they really have abandoned that running game. On this particular drive, not much running up the middle.
4th down, they're going to go for it. 4th down and about 8 yards to go. Look for Remiga to throw the ball again.
Panthers are going to come after him.
Yep. Here they come. Big rush. They're going to set up a screen play. And, oh, good tackle by Weslaco on the far side. Is that Dominic Elmore again?
Yeah.
Yes, at the 30-yard line. Weslaco will take over on downs. And no turnover that time, but just a good defensive stand by the Panthers again.
Yeah, and if Elmore is not there, he passed some blockers in the middle of the field. He gets behind that, and he might get the 1st down. Instead, Elmore is there, makes the tackle, and now the Panthers with the ball back.
I'm looking at 3 defensive players on the sideline right now for the Panthers not playing, but I don't think the coach in a non-district game wants to take a chance of any further injury because we got a long season to go. Man in motion. Trying to cut up against the grain, maybe to the 33, 34-yard line. Panthers got some shifty runners, that's for sure.
Well, and it doesn't look like he got a lot on that play right there, but, you know, sometimes you don't need the 10 yards, the big long runs. All you need are those 4 and 5 yards, especially on 1st down, and that's what he got on that play right there. A credit once again to the offensive line doing a good job controlling the line of scrimmage.
Well, it's apparent that R.C. Cervantes has kind of taken over as the workhorse here. And a very tight formation. He's going to go in motion to the far side. But they're going to come back on, they saw that play coming. Rojas never had a chance. When he went by, they knew it was going to be Rojas. Back almost to the original line of scrimmage. A loss on the play, and now it's going to be 3rd down and 9. We have not seen a lot of passing by the Panthers in this half. The one they did throw was intercepted. And another one was almost intercepted.
Haven't needed to pass the ball much, but here you are in a passing situation with 3rd and about 9 yards to go. And once again, you don't want to give the ball right back to the South Hawks in their own territory once again, or deep in your own territory. You want to try to get a 1st down, a couple of 1st downs. Also take some time off the clocks. And here you go, spread formation. Yes. Looks like a passing situation here, huh?
Yep. Randy Lopez, the quarterback, and the clock ran out on him.
No, that's going to be movement.
Was it movement? Clock? Yeah, the clock went down to 0. And that's I've never seen this many delay of games in a game. It's at least 6 or 7 tonight, combined teams. Yep. Now that's going to bring up 3rd down and about 13 or 14 to go for Weslaco as Ryan Flores now goes back into the game. But what happened to that drive where they just ran it down the field and ran it down the field?
Harlingen South is making their adjustments too now. They've done a good job. They've been pursuing the ball. They seem a little bit quicker here, I should say, on the defensive side, doing a better job defensively.
Sabino Reyna also into the ballgame for the first time, or the first time in a long time. Lopez gets it underway. He's got a receiver out there at the 45-yard line, up near the midfield, dragging some receivers. And
that's going to be Little Joe.
Who is that?
That's
Little Joe
Little
DeLeon?
Joe DeLeon.
Okay.
And the reason why I say Little Joe is because his parents are right in front of us. It says number 4, Little Joe. So I guess that's what they call him. And that was just a great play there by Little Joe because the quarterback Lopez threw the ball up there, and it looked like the defender was going to make the catch, but Lopez, or I should say DeLeon, makes the little adjustment there to make the catch, and then a nifty little run afterwards to pick up more yards.
Yeah, he got it up to midfield. That was a big third down play too, Carlos, because they were, like I said, they were deep in their own territories. They would have been given Harlingen South another more field position. Boy, there's some good running there down to about the 46-yard line. Some tough running right between the guard and the tackle.
That's a big play by the Weslaco Panthers. Very big play, because that keeps the drive alive. That runs more time off the clock here also with that big first down. And got to credit Lopez and Little Joe.
Yeah, and Haas and Adam and the whole Cartwright clan. Yep. All right, John Rojas comes out of the ball game, but we do have Cervantes in. 9:20 and counting down in the fourth quarter. Weslaco up 28-19. Another touchdown would come in handy. Oh, they fake it. Pitch back to Cervantes, trying to go wide. 45, 40, cuts back. Still going. He's got the first down to about the 36-yard line. Good second effort that time by R.C. Cervantes.
Yeah, and Cervantes is shifty. He's shifty when he gets the ball out there because he'll make a few people miss. You can't bring him down with just one guy because he'll go around you or he'll make a little move to get by you. So you got to pursue him because if not, he's going to be making you look silly out there because he'll go right around you.
This is reminiscent of that drive in the third quarter where they took up a few minutes and took it down the field. And with 8:50 to go in the ball game, an extra touchdown would be good for Weslaco to extend that lead a little bit. Rojas fakes. No, it's going to be a pass. Man wide open. 5-yard line. Touchdown, Weslaco. And who's on the reception? That's big number 86.
That's 86, Jacob Chapa, Terry. He's a senior for this football team and made an incredible catch right there. I know he played a lot of 7-on-7 with the Weslaco Panthers during the summer league, and just a nice catch for him right there. He gets a touchdown.
His dad and mom are standing. I talked to him earlier. His dad I used to bowl with years ago, and Jacob is the youngest son, and of course he had an older brother that came through here that was a pretty darn good player as well. But Jacob did a nice job there, and a big touchdown from Randy Lopez. Snap back, kick up, and it is good. So with 8:43 to go in the ball game, Weslaco opens it up 34-19.
It's been a passion of mine to make a difference in a child's life. I began my career in the classroom, and over the years I've climbed the ranks of administration, with the last stage serving as Weslaco superintendent. I am proud of my accomplishments, including being named Region 1 Superintendent of the Year. But this couldn't have happened without my education at UT Pan American. It gave me the knowledge to be a leader for our youth. UTPA made a difference in my life. It can make a difference in yours.
Boy, how big did that play to Joe DeLeon looks now. That was huge. Special teams coming down on the field. Boca Negra will kick off. One more time, it's up to the Panther defense to go out there and stop that Hawk offense.
And Joe DeLeon has come with some big plays in this football game. Not only that catch right there to keep that drive alive, but what about the big catch that got the ball inside the 1-yard line? Now, Joe, it's been just a total team effort here by the Weslaco Panthers.
Yeah, that's right. He's had 2 big plays tonight, hasn't he? All right, Boca Negra kick off. Let's see what the special teams can do here. In the middle again, it's going to be hard to pick up. Down about the 25, picked up again. Finally trying to get to the outside. Weslaco in pursuit, and they're going to do another nice job inside the 30. So they have definitely figured out what to do here on special teams.
Use that speed, get that ball down the field, and make them think about it. Work to try to pick up that football, then use your speed to get down there with the coverage.
I think if I read it right, of course you never can predict it. Weslaco was about a 10 to 15 point favorite for this ball game, but it's hard to judge a game like this when you go to the other team's field. First game of the season, you just never know. Harlingen South lost, I believe, to Mission Veterans the first game, didn't he?
Yes.
Yep.
27-2.
Yep. That ball on the, I don't know if he caught it. So, yep, I think they're going to give him credit for the reception. Now they're going to run that no huddle offense. And that was Flores, the righty.
They were actually kind of successful with that no huddle offense to end the first half. Let's see what they do here, down by a couple of touchdowns.
And it's the same quarterback, Zach Flores, who may be trying to establish a quarterback on this team. Hand off to Drewley. He's got some big running room. They bring him down inside or about the 43-yard line. Big John Drewley, who's getting a lot of open space. When it's a close-in thing, he's had some tough yards, but he seems to, the Panthers are spreading things out, opening up the field for him. Under 8 minutes to go. Harlingen South down by 35-19. And Flores intercepted at the 45, the 40, the 35.
Elmore.
Down the sideline, is that Dominic Elmore? And it is into the end zone for a touchdown for the Panthers. He stepped into it just like a center fielder, and once he had it, he was gone.
And you got to be happy for Dominic Elmore, because I think he was the one earlier in this game where the punt fell off his head, got off his head, hit off his head. So it's good to see him out there to make this interception, go back for the touchdown. I know he felt very, very bad about that turnover, but he's one of those guys that hustled out there. And look at him, all the players are out there hugging him and giving him high fives. He seems to be a real popular player. I'm glad to see him out there, because he's one of those kids that just seems to hustle on every single play.
When I had him in junior high, he was a tremendous running back, Carlos. I mean, a tremendous running back. When he went to the varsity or went to high school, he volunteered to go onto the defensive side of the ball because they had a lot of good running backs, and he's turned out to be a great defender. He's just a good athlete.
Well, he played a lot of defensive line last year. Remember, he was on the defensive line, and he was just one of those guys that was so quick and so fast. You know what? Not the biggest, strongest guy on the team, but he was quick. He could shoot that gap, and that's why they liked him on the defensive line. Seems like they found a very good place for him right now, playing either defensive back or linebacker.
Boy, could I had a close-up. His eyes must have been real big when he saw that ball floating out there. When he picked it off, he knew he was gone. And he had a convoy. He had a player right there with him. But that's a big, big touchdown now. 42-19. Another turnover for Harlingen South, but this one cost him 6 points.
Yeah, that'll almost seal the deal here. Of course, it's never over till it's over, as they say. But some folks down here, not a lot of people have left here in Harlingen, but definitely it makes things a little bit easier for the Weslaco Panthers.
I think more Hawk fans are leaving to go home than the Panther fans are staying around. They're loving this. All right, let's see what they do in that special teams. Again, Boca Negra will kick off. The last 3 or 4 kickoffs have been kind of down the middle squibbers that the Panthers have done a good job on their special teams with. So let's try it again. They've got to be pumped up. Here we go, one more time. Oh, down to about the 20, picked up there, and still picked up, getting away from the pursuit, and then up the field they go, and then down to about the 38. Good play by the Panther secondary and the special teams after he got by the initial man. But that defense has got to be pumped right now. And they're going to go back and throw the ball again.
Well, they're going to have to.
Yep.
If they want to get back into this football game, they're going to have to get that ball out there. And I know Coach Leal doesn't want to go down quietly. He wants to go out there and try to score as much as possible and try to get this offense rolling before their game next week against Hannah.
Was he in Mercedes when you played there?
No.
Afterwards?
No, he was only there a few years ago.
Okay.
I was there in the 80s era.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Under center this time. There, quick handoff. Nope, that is. This time, see, Drewley, well, he's breaking tackles, and then finally, at the 45-yard line, the Panthers sealed the deal.
Yeah, and Harlingen South Hawks, you got to be proud of them also, or at least the coach does, the way they continue to play and battle here. And they got to remember this is just a non-district game. Right. Yeah, they'll go 0-2 on the season, but they got a lot to play for still. They got some big games against Harlingen, and the rest of the teams are in their district, so they got to try to put some stuff together and get something going into next week.
Dominic Elmore back on the field there. It looks like he plays like a linebacker position. Looks like they got a different quarterback. No, they almost had him at the line of scrimmage. Losing his helmet was one of the Weslaco players. That's number 9, I believe, Nathan Alvarado, and he still almost made the stop as they get up to midfield, and they're going to move the markers.
Yeah,
first down.
These guys are fast.
Yeah.
I mean, you saw Alvarado just go in there like a bullet. Just if they're in a pinch or they're going to blitz, they're going to shoot the gaps. They're going to be in the backfield every play. It's just a matter of calling it at the right time because these guys are quick.
Looked like he had his helmet in one hand, made the tackle with the other hand. They sent a man in motion for Harlingen South. They've gone to a running game here. I formation. Pitch out, cutting back against the grain. This time though, swarming. Gang tackled, number 90, Montiel, number 6. I thought it was 16. Payne, is he back in the ballgame? Because I don't see him on the sideline. I thought he was back in the game.
Yeah, and whatever you want to call it, whether it's swarming, gang tackling, whatever it is, good. The Panthers are really after it. This is probably, I know it's only one game, but so far this is the best the Panthers have been on defensively in a long time.
Yep. And they're hitting Eric Hernandez early in the game. Oh, I was shaking on his hit. They were just awesome. Here we go. Second down at about 9.
It's going to be offsides on Weslaco.
Oh, is it? Okay. Big tackle, but down to the 45-yard line. A little movement that time, was it?
No, they just lined up offsides.
Okay.
I mean, because we had the play directly right in front of us. You can see that one of our linemen just had his hand across the line of scrimmage.
Okay, you got it. Carlos the Eagle out. So what are they going to do? Are they going to take the penalty or they decline it? How this is going to work out? I think they're going to take the penalty. Keep it down at second down. We're down to 5:45 to go here in the fourth quarter. It's been 2 fourth quarter touchdowns by the Panthers that have opened this thing up. So we were talking about coming into this fourth quarter, Carlos, conditioning. It appears that Weslaco is in pretty good shape. All right, here we go again. Second down and about 4 yards to go. Line of scrimmage at about the 44-yard line. Pitch back. Getting some running room again. Up the middle, still going. And down inside the 25 to the 23. I'm not sure who this running back. I think it's number 20, Randy Martinez, but he is quick. And Tom Chavez has seen enough. He's going home. Brownsville Hanna has seen enough of both teams.
Yeah, it's the trash time of the game where you're not going to see the bread and butter offense of Weslaco or Harlingen South. So they say, you know what, let's get out of here, guys, and hit the road before the traffic.
One of his assistants, of course, longtime assistant, J.C. Cavazos from Weslaco, here shaking hands with all his, people that he's known for a long time. And off again.
Once again, number 20, Randy Martinez across the 25 down to the 23. A gain of 2 yards, setting up second down, 2nd and 8.
Nobody really hurt on the other side of that football field, so you go on, back to the chalkboard, back to the old drawing board, see what you can do for next week.
42-19 is the score as Harlingen South setting up an offense. Pitch out this time, trying to go wide. Again, some good running room, trying to get to the corner. This guy can run. He's inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. That is number 20, Randy Martinez, and he might be their he's like a little scat back. He was getting down to the 14. It's going to bring up first down again. Dominic Elmore coming out of the ballgame.
Great job of that defense, Dominic Elmore, man. That was just a great play because he was in on a lot of tackles as well in this football game, not just that big interception.
All right, first down and 10 for Harlingen South, under 4 minutes to go. Hand off to Drewley, and he gets down inside the 10 to about the 8 or 9 yard line. And it's going to bring up second down and about 4 or 5 yards to go.
It's a way to start off the season, Weslaco Panthers. You got to like the way you start off the year, playing a good, hard-nosed 5A football team like Harlingen South and coming away with a victory like this on the road. It's always tough to win on the road, no matter who you're playing, but they did it. They did it in good, convincing fashion here tonight by a big score, and that's what you want to see. That's the way you want to start off the season.
Panthers are going to call a timeout here with 3:27 to go in the ballgame. Yeah, and they're going to be on the road again next week at Rio Grande City. And so that, when you start out on the road like that and you can come away with a couple of wins, that's going to give you a lot of confidence when you go into that district schedule.
Yeah, that part of the season where, league play, when you're taking on those other teams, and you got Los Fresnos and San Benito and the Brownsville schools. So, yeah, you got to play the other 5A schools. They're not playing 4A schools. They're playing these big 5A schools and on the road going to Rio Grande City next week. So we'll see how they do, but a lot of new faces. And Coach Villarreal is going to have to make a lot of adjustments and see who his go-to players are going to be. But a lot to look at here tonight. He's got to be pleased with what he's seen offensively in R.C. Cervantes and Randy Lopez. And also got to be happy defensively and what they've done as a team defense and causing some turnovers and holding the South Hawks to only 19 points when they were knocking on the door many more times here tonight.
Well, Lopez is the quarterback. He's the key. If he can develop, he's a junior. He can develop. He's looked good passing on most of his plays. He had a couple bad ones, but other than that, he looked pretty good on his passing and a couple of touchdown passes. Martinez again, right up the middle, gets down to maybe the 5 or 6 yard line. Those are some tough yards in the middle against the Panther defense. 42-19 as Harlingen South is trying to add a few points on here, but a lot of the fans starting to get up and move down to the good seats.
They're not leaving.
No, Harlingen South, I'm looking over there. There's a lot of empty spots over there, but here we go. Zach Flores has been the quarterback for most of this fourth quarter here. And Martinez slithers inside the 5 to down about the 1 or 2 yard line.
That's another decision for Coach Gilbert Leal on the other side. Is he going to try to continue with this rotating quarterback, or is he going to stick with just one quarterback, you know, whether it being Flores or the other guy? I mean, he's going to have to make a decision here, because sometimes you get into a rhythm with just one quarterback and it's broken when you start doing that alternating thing.
All right, first down and goal to go from about the 1 yard line. Hand off to Martinez, and I think he's in. Yes, he is. Did a little deacon dive, and Randy Martinez, I believe, scored a touchdown.
Randy Martinez kicks it in.
And score goes up to 42-25 with 2:28 to go in the ballgame. And they drove it down the field. Give them credit. They drove pretty much the length of the field that time for that touchdown.
Yeah, and it'll make the score a little bit more respectable when you read it in the paper tomorrow. Oh, 42-25, a little bit better, but this is a game that was pretty much dominated by the Weslaco Panthers, I would say.
Yeah, you take away the Weslaco turnovers, and this game would be, could be worse.
Yeah, it could be a lot worse, and they did a pretty good job here tonight. I like to see the stats. You know, this is a team that was averaging over 500 yards a game last year. I'd like to see what they did here tonight, and just a good performance overall, offensively and defensively.
Well, I've got to believe Rojas and Cervantes for sure had over 100 yards rushing tonight. And I'm sure Randy Lopez, I think, had over 100 yards passing, because he completed 2 pretty long passes tonight. One to Joe DeLeon, who had a couple of big plays. And like I said, first game, new team. I mean, this is a new team. This isn't Meshach Rivas. This isn't Michael Blackman and a whole bunch of Gilbert Pettis. They lost a lot of big-time players in the last 2 years. So these guys have to make their own identity. But, you know, Carlos, they've got a great junior class, and they've got a great sophomore class. And these guys, by the end of the year, I think a new team like this, they're always going to be better at the end of the year than they are at the beginning. This team could be peaking at playoff time.
Weslaco always has the athletes. I mean, you take a look at their
track team,
the basketball team, and their baseball team. You know, one of your 3 core sports right there in football. You know, and they've always done really well. So they got the athletes, just a matter of putting it all together.
All right, kickoff down to 1 receiver at about the 15-yard line. I thought they might try an onside kick. Behind some blocking, still cutting back, and up to about the 33, 34-yard line comes the Weslaco player. Getting off the bottom of the pile. I believe that's Omar Pena, number 16. It's either 16 or 18. That's Pena. I'm glad to see he's back in the lineup, because I was wondering if he got hurt or not. I know Jacob Rivera is still out. The most serious of the injuries looks like maybe Derek Lopez, but you never know. Like I said, until they go back and they take a look at things, you err on the side of caution in the first game. So here we go. Looks like a new quarterback. And it is. Good run that time up to the 42-yard line. The new quarterback is number 9, Nathan Alvarado. And the new running back was Francisco Jimenez. So they've got a couple of the other guys into the lineup. Tim Sierna out there. So
all right, number 7's out there.
Our favorite pitcher. And he's going to play
sophomore of the year, 32.5.
Yep, sure is.
Newcomer of the year, rather.
Handoff going inside again, breaking tackles. And boy, holding that ball like a loaf of bread, as they say, up to the 44-yard line. Jimenez again, close to the first down as we go down to the minute and 40 mark. And Carlos, as we wind down tonight, how do we look at this thing? What do we take from it?
I think you take a lot of good things, a lot of positive things. I'm sure the coaches will break down the film and see a lot of things that they need to work on Special teams, of course, being one of them, but other things that we don't see as just regular fans and sportscasters up here. I mean, they're gonna break down this film, and they'll work a lot before they go into next week's game.
3rd down and short. And boy, I don't know if they made it or not.
But one of the things they got to be happy with, Terry, is the defense and their speed. You know, like I said, not a lot of size over there, but a lot of speed on that defense, and they swarm to the ball, and when they do get there, they make the sure-handed tackles. And those are some of the things that you can teach your players. You can teach your players how to tackle. You can teach them how to have good technique, but you can't teach them speed. Right. So you put those things together, your coaching abilities and the speed and the talent you have on this football team, and you go from there.
Well, they're going for it on 4th down. Jimenez has got the first down up to the 50. Well, I guess they got a first down on the last play, but, you know, Carlos, for some of these guys, this is the first varsity game they've ever played in. So the varsity experience you get out here is just invaluable. You can't even measure it, especially for the quarterback, Lopez. Guys like R.C. Cervantes, who played a lot last year, he has shown his leadership. And, you know, this kid is just, remember, he's just a junior. A lot of these big running backs this is a great junior class. Handoff coming wide again, breaking back up against the grain. I believe that's Jimenez again. Harlingen South says they have the football, but I don't think so. And we're going to count it down. We may not get another play underway, but an impressive win tonight. 42 points on the board for the Weslaco Panthers, and the clock runs down, and it's going to hit 0 before they get the playoff. But that's going to do it, fans. And final score tonight, Weslaco 42, Harlingen South 25, and a very impressive opening game for the Panthers on the road, and it is off a 1-0 start, and a good start for the Panthers.
The only way to start the season, the best way to start the season is 1-0, and we talked a lot about the defense here tonight, Terry, and it's because we're used to seeing that offense and putting up the big numbers, but the defense is always the question mark coming into the year, and we've been talking a lot about that, not to diminish the play of the Weslaco offense. Good to see R.C. Cervantes, good to see Randy Lopez out there come up with the big plays when they needed to, and also Little Joe out here, Little Joe de Leon, number 4, coming up with a couple of key plays in this football game. You know, one to get the ball inside the 5-yard line, and the other to keep a drive alive on a nice little adjustment in the catch to make a first down. So some big names on offense taking over for the De Leons, the Michael Blackmans and the Mishak Rivases, and then the defense coming into their own and playing really hard-nosed football here tonight.
There was a couple of big key points in the ball game. After Harlingen South scored early on a turnover in the second half, Weslaco was able to turn it around, march it down the field, and answer that touchdown. And of course, the final nail was the return by Dominic Elmore of an intercepted pass, and that really kind of took the heart and soul right out of Harlingen South. They did get a touchdown at the end, but didn't really mean much. Weslaco, an impressive 42-25 win over the Hawks from Harlingen South. On behalf of Val Zamora and Julian Oliveras, and we got Jim Zavala up here, and we got Rafael as well, the whole K-West crew. Doing a great job again as we get the season underway. And from Bogus Stadium in Harlingen, Texas, the final score tonight, Weslaco 42, Harlingen South 25. Good night, everybody.